It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky.
Well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take him out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
I like that. Okay.
Come on, B. New anthem.
I like that. I like this.
When you
I like
call in
this.
today, Niner fans, I want to know where you're repping. Rep your city. We got a new anthem. I retired the other one for the Warriors. Give it from me from the beginning again. Give it to me from the beginning.
I like that.
Turn it up.
I like that.
Turn it up.
I like that.
40 water, Lil John.
I like that.
Rep your city. Are you ready?
It's a big game on Sunday, folks.
Hey.
It's a big game. And, oh, baby, we're going to talk all about it
Let's
today.
go.
We're going to talk all about it. Geno Smith, I think he's walking into Levi Stadium and walking out of there with the win. Geno Smith, the same guy who, look, they played great in the first half. Seattle scored nothing in the second half. Nothing. Geno Smith, 6 of 10, 31 yards in the second half. You think that guy's going to walk out of Levi Stadium on Sunday in the monsoon with the freaking W? The streak stops Sunday. Niners have lost 4 in a row to the Seahawks. It's not a must-win game, but it's an absolute gotta-have-it game to stay on track here early in the season. So we're going to talk all about it today. We got a great guest lineup. Shasky, I love the anthem. We need to rock it a little longer, though.
We will. We're going to set the whole thing up. It's got a long intro. We'll redo it. We'll set the whole thing up. But I wanted to make sure that it hit hard from my man Bonte this morning. So here's a new thing that we're going to do for the callers today. Because, number one, this is a huge game.
Huge.
Don't kid yourself, Niner fans. If we fall, the Niners, fall to 0-2, you know what's coming. Boo birds are coming. Yeah. Criticism is coming. Chaos will ensue. So today, when you call in, 888-957-9570, 2 things I want you to say without us even asking you. All right, we're conditioning the callers. Rep your city. Tell us where you're from. And tell us how you're watching or how you're listening. Are you on the old school radio? You know, Joe in San Francisco, I'm listening on 95.7 FM. Bill in Walnut Creek, watching y'all on YouTube. Bonte in the Peninsula, and I'm listening on the Odyssey app. I want you to come in and rep your city. Let's go.
Let's go. Good morning, everybody out there getting off their graveyard shifts and getting ready for work. If you're at work, what is happening?
I'm so fired up for this
Good morning
game.
for YouTube on YouTube. Everybody watching on YouTube, I see your roasters locked and loaded early on a Friday, a payday Friday, a Frisco/payday Friday here at 95.7 The Game. Of course, Twitch, we see you, and of course the Comcast Business text line. You know, this game on Sunday, this is a body bag game. And I'm watching 2 division rivals last night in Kansas City and the Chargers.
What a game.
I mean, Derwin James is hitting everybody. He's hitting everybody moving.
And he's the guy. He's the guy I wanted coming out of the draft that they ended up trading Trent Brown for and moving up to go get Mike McGlinchey.
I know. And Mike McGlinchey. And, you know, I was thinking about this on the way in, actually. I'm glad you brought up Mike McGlinchey. Because he didn't have I don't care what the grades say. He did not have a good game on Sunday. I don't care. I wonder if he's better suited at guard because he started his career at Notre Dame as a guard.
Interesting.
And I remember him playing tackle against the Georgia Bulldogs his last season at Notre Dame. Georgia walked into South Bend, Indiana, and they just punked them. Now, it's the Georgia Bulldogs, SEC team. But Mike McGlinchey did not look good there. And I always thought, like, man, can he deal with that type of pass rush? Because all you see in the NFL is guys littered from the SEC, the ACC, big, strong, physical freaks. And McGlinchey struggles. But you're watching that game last night, Chiefs, Chargers.
Yes.
A physical division game that could go either way. Chargers in control. Chiefs come back. Mahomes averts trouble with a couple picks. Asante Samuel doesn't get the ball. They reverse that call. But that's what the game's going to be like on Sunday. Maybe not as many points, but it's going to be close.
Agreed.
These are divisional battles.
Agreed.
And you can give the Seahawks a loss. You can kind of just pop the air out of their balloon from riding high against Russell Wilson. But you got to have this one on Sunday, Shatsky. You got to have this one.
Well, and they're on a short week. You want to say that a day doesn't make a difference? I think it does.
A game like that? Absolutely.
I think it does. And there's an emotional letdown, but I don't know if Pete's going to allow that to happen. I have too much respect for Pete Carroll to think that he's not going to have his team prepared. When was the last time they played the Niners and weren't buttoned up?
Oh, it's been a long time.
That's what I'm saying.
It's been a long time.
You absolutely have to do this. Now, you brought up the McGlinchey thing. Just for a quick second. You don't follow, Star Wars or whatever. They have this thing called the Sith, right? And the Sith are the bad guys. They're the evil people. And there's the rule of two, okay? Mm-hmm. For the most part, I believe in the rule of two. And here's where I'm going with this. At wide receiver, you can have two studs. At running back, you can have two studs. Almost every other position, it's really difficult to have two studs coming out of college at the same school, and I believe in the rule of two. So here's where I'm going at with this. Mario Williams was at NC State. Do you know who the second guy on the opposite side of him who feasted was?
Who was it?
Manny Lawson.
That's right.
One guy was great.
Right.
The other guy was so-so.
Right.
Let's think about who Mike McGlinchey played on that offensive line with.
Quentin Nelson.
How great is Quentin Nelson?
Quentin Nelson is one of the best guards, if not the best guard in all of football, who just signed a massive contract extension with the Indianapolis Colts.
The other guy is Mike McGlinchey. Where I'm going at with this is I'm skeptical whenever you take the second best guy from a particular unit. You see this a lot in cornerback situations.
Mike Rumph, Phillip Buchanan, Miami.
You knew there was going to be a drop-off, right? You know what I'm saying? So now, can Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson play simultaneously?
Absolutely.
Very rare, though.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Lendell White and Reggie Bush. I thought Lendell was going to be great.
He had 1,000-yard season, and he kind of...
Right? So whenever I go to college and I'm evaluating and scheduling, I'm not saying it can't happen. Outliers happen everywhere. I'm just very leery whenever I see a great offensive player or a defensive player from a unit, and then a team goes up and gets the second guy.
Yep.
I'm always like, I want the guy, not the second guy.
Yeah, I want the guy.
Do you get what I'm saying with
this?
this?
No doubt about it. And he wasn't the guy. And so when Quentin Nelson went in the top 7 to Indianapolis, what did he go, 6 overall in that draft?
Yeah.
And then we're thinking...
People thought they were crazy, by the way, taking a guard that high.
I was okay with it. Quentin Nelson was nasty.
They said he'd be Hutchinson, and everyone's like, no way. He's pretty freaking good.
He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
100%.
All right, this guy's nasty. But then Roquan Swift is sitting there, and then he gets scooped up by the Bears. And then it's like, all right, Colton Miller, Mike McGlinchey, Derwin James. There was a need for Derwin James, but I know Derwin James has had some injuries, and he struggled his last season at Florida State.
He's elite.
But when he plays,
he's elite.
When he plays, he is a nasty, nasty dude. So it's a big game for Mike McGlinchey. Big game for the 49ers here on Sunday. 888-957-9570. We'll talk all about it. Everybody's going crazy over Geno Smith because of the quote, and it was a great quote. They wrote me off, but I ain't right back. And that was cute.
Such a great
That was
line,
cool.
though.
But then when you dive deeper into the game, he was 23-28 for 195. All right, 7 yards a pop. 23 completions, only 195 yards. All right, he had the 2 touchdowns again in the first half. Seattle scored nothing in the second half. It did nothing. Geno Smith, 6 of 10 in the second half, 31 yards. How about DK Metcalf?
Yeah.
Against those solid corners in Denver. 7 catches, 36 yards. And a fumble.
Surtain the second?
Yeah, Patrick Surtain the second.
Yeah.
7 catches, 36 yards, and a fumble. Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
3 catches, 28 yards.
See, the reason why I fear Tyler Lockett, not that I don't fear DK. DK's almost unguardable.
Fear all of them.
But Tyler Lockett killed the Niners over the top on the big chunk plays. That's the one thing. I love this defense, at least over the last 3-4 years. The one area that I think is just so difficult, the game now is inherently set up for the big chunk plays. I'm talking about the league as a whole. And it feels like the Niners defense at times will give up these big momentum-shifting defensive plays. Now, I think they ask a lot of their defense, and so it's kind of unfair for me to pinpoint that. But I go back to the Chicago game. There were 2 giant plays that just totally wrecked the game.
The Pettis play.
Yeah.
And, of course, St. Brown scoring that touchdown.
B, you're going to disagree with me on this. I was watching back a lot of the Niner game again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a stance, and you have a totally different opinion from me. I am convinced, and I don't want to argue about it, but me personally, I'm convinced that weather in that game was the only way that game was going to be close. And it's not an excuse. That is the reality, and I will die on this hill. That weather was horrific. And I know you said, oh, Joe, it didn't rain the entire time. Rain was coming down over the camera all game.
Well, here's the deal. I
feel like I got to throw a lot of that game out the window in terms of evaluations and things like that.
But here's my deal. Niner Nick. Shout out to Niner Nick. Wished me a happy birthday yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And thanks to everybody who reached out. But I remember we were texting. He goes, "Is the weather that bad out there?" I was like, "Yeah, it's nasty." And this is Sunday morning. He goes, "Well, yeah, I don't love that. If it was normal weather, I'd expect a full out route. Not having Kittle hurts a little more today. Still expected a double-digit win." And I remember talking to Box Cat Saturday night because I saw him at the Giants game. We went out and had some drinks. And Box Cat was like, "Man, no Kittle, nasty rain. The playing field is starting to level out. The Bears now have a shot."
That's what I'm saying.
They now have a shot.
It's fair to say that. It's okay to say it.
It's okay to say that. However, you left 2 touchdowns on the board. The game should have been over at halftime.
Both of those are true.
So
You're
the
right.
weather,
You're right.
So the weather, I'm not buying it because the rain maybe came. It wasn't heavy in the first 3 quarters. It wasn't heavy rain, Shasky. I'm sitting there. A lot of people had their parkas off. They had their parkas off. They didn't put them on until the fourth quarter.
They played in the parkas is a different thing because I seen a lot of people with the plastic over the jerseys.
But they had the hoods off. Guys were wearing straight jerseys in the second row. Straight jerseys. The rain was light. They had a shot to blow that game open in the half. So the whole
both
weather
of those
thing,
can be true.
The weather
you can
thing,
dismiss it,
right.
but I'm not going to.
I'm not going to dismiss it.
I'm not going to.
But when you fumble on the first possession.
Oh, well, that's...
When you give up a sack on the second possession following an interception.
I am not dismissing the lack of execution and not trying to give the Bears their just due. But I also believe the weather was a big factor for the 49ers.
It was a factor, however. You had an average starting field position of the 40-yard line.
And you need to walk away with at least 20 points in that first half.
40-yard line? You're starting every possession in the first half at the 40-yard line? What? You're 30 yards away from field goal range. All right? And the Bears were starting at their own 14. So, look, the weather was a factor. I admit that. Once the monsoon came down, it was a wrap. However, that game should have been over by halftime.
Of course.
And Richard Sherman said the same thing last night when Richard Sherman was talking about the Chiefs-Chargers. Man, Chargers have dominated the first half. We all agree. Chargers dominated the first half. They were only up 10-7.
Yeah.
10-7.
Well, one of the things, my big takeaway of watching the 2 outstanding quarterbacks, okay, that's what they are. They're both outstanding. First and foremost, look, Herbert's awesome. Mahomes is on a whole nother level. No one's saying that you can't see the gifts that God has given Justin Herbert. He's incredible. The guts after he got hit, there's no doubt about it. But I'll tell you, both of those guys missed a lot of plays underneath. Now, I account that to just tough football. The game is difficult. But the amount of scrutiny that I see for those 2 on basic stick routes, like you see this with Trey Lance. He missed that stick route. You got to hit that. How many times did Herbert stare down the barrel of Mike Williams? And everyone in the stadium knew Mike Williams is getting it.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then, look, he delivered a good ball, and Mike Williams boxes the guy out and makes a play. What I'm getting at is I'm just watching the narratives around those guys. And the thing that I noticed for both players, they will miss a routine play, and they make more routine plays than Trey. I'm not comparing Trey to them. I'm saying in terms of how we talk about them, but they make so many big plays down the field.
So many plays.
That it totally negates it. How many throws did Mahomes throw into double and triple coverage where you were like, where are you throwing it, dog?
All night long.
And then on the next play, he'll step up and throw a 40-yard bomb as he's running toward the line of scrimmage. And I didn't even know if it went through the DB's hands or not. It just felt like a perfect pass.
However, I saw Mike Tannenbaum, the former GM of the New York Jets, and he was with the Dolphins for a little bit. And I saw him the other day, and he didn't hesitate. Max Kellerman asked him, who'd you rather have moving forward, Mahomes or Herbert? He was like, Herbert, no doubt. And then you hear Mike March on our airwaves yesterday with Willard and Sean Salisbury. Oh, the guy I'm taking right now is Justin Herbert.
It feels like Steph Curry slander. Like I'm saying, it reminds me of like people taking I'll take Luka over Steph. It's like, does the body of work not matter?
Right. Yeah, Mahomes has been great. You see the numbers, the touchdowns per pass, or how many pass attempts per touchdown?
15 pass attempts.
Every 15 pass attempts, he throws a touchdown pass.
That's the most insane thing.
Right.
If he drops back 30 times, it's an automatic 2 touchdowns.
It's automatic 2 touchdowns.
That is wild.
Automatic. And that Kansas City Chiefs team, they don't have explosive weapons on the outside.
Kelsey's ridiculous.
Kelsey is ridiculous.
He is head and shoulders above Kittle as a receiver route runner. And I love Kittle. Kittle's awesome.
Right.
Kelsey's on a whole nother level.
Kittle's not close.
And it's health, and it's his feel for how to get open, his ability to not take shots, although he got suplexed late in that game.
He did. Derwin James.
Kelsey's an all-time tight end.
So So you look at Kittle, right? I mean, you look at Kelsey last night. I wish Kittle could do some of the things that Kelsey does.
The stop and goes.
But Kittle has to play on Sunday. Number one, Jamal Adams is out for the season with the torn quad.
That is a huge injury.
Huge. And they moved a lot of picks for Jamal Adams.
Firsts.
And gave him the big fat extension.
Yep.
What was it, 4 years, $70 million? He's out for the year. So there's no Jamal Adams to shadow George Kittle. Now, maybe they do it with Diggs.
Yeah, but he's
We'll
a
see about
blitzer
that.
as well.
Yeah, he's a blitzer, so we'll see about that. But Kittle in this game, we look at George Kittle and where he's at. And Trey Lance has started 2 or 3 games, and there's been no Kittle. He needs George Kittle. You look at those tight ends yesterday. Gerald Everett. Boy, it'd be nice to have a Gerald Everett opposite of George Kittle. Gerald Everett got a lot of targets from Herbert. Kelsey helping Mahomes. You look at all these tight ends. Brady, how much did he rely on the tight ends back to Jermaine Wiggins during their first Super Bowl run? I mean, you need a good tight end, a serviceable tight end. And Trey Lance hasn't had his tight end, his star tight end, one of the best in the league.
Well,
you need Kittle.
Going back to 2020, when Jimmy threw the high ball in the Arizona game, and Kittle got hit in the leg, and he was out for a couple of weeks. If you really go back and remember it, I know it's been such a long time and we have short memories.
Yeah.
That derailed the offense early in the season.
Oh, it was rough.
I mean, they got completely out of rhythm. In that Arizona game, they had no Debo because he was hurt.
Yep.
I believe Brandon Ayuk also missed that game because he was a rookie.
Well, they walked into that stadium. Dante Pettis, Kendrick Bourne, and Trent Taylor were starting wide receivers.
And then Kittle
which is why I tried to give Jimmy a pass.
I know, and then Kittle went down, and they just had no playmakers. You know what I'm saying? Kittle is extremely important for what they do. The other thing I noticed in that game, and you saw it in it, on that simple play where they had the play action at goal line, and the Chargers dumped it off to the fullback.
Yep.
Where is that for Juszczyk?
I mean,
I used to see Raffman do that all day.
do you put Juszczyk at tight end at times this week?
Why is he the highest paid fullback if you're never going to use him? I'm not saying that he's got to be the focal point of the offense, but give him a couple touches.
Well, we forget in 2019 in that Pittsburgh Steelers game when they're down 9-0, Juszczyk helped flip that game.
Yes.
Big catch.
Yes.
Truck Mika Fitzpatrick, had another big catch later in that game. Juszczyk could be a weapon. Like, you look at the Chargers. Even without Keenan Allen, it's like, damn, they got 5 threats out there. You look at the Chiefs, even though it's Kelsey and no Tyreek Hill, it's still like, damn, Juju's respectable. Who's the guy who caught the touchdown late? They had Gray, the other guy, number 84.
Yeah.
I had never heard of him before.
Apparently, he dominated at the Ivy League level. 4 straight years, Ross Tucker was saying.
Andy Reid finds these guys.
I never heard of him. Another Ivy Leaguer is Juszczyk.
Juszczyk, of course, Harvard. But you look at all those weapons on the field, so much talent. I'm looking at the Niners where it's like, boy, if they don't throw the ball to Ayuk and Debo and maybe Jawan Jennings, I don't know about these weapons, which is why I want to see Danny Gray because he could actually take the top off the defense.
Well, you got to play this guy. You can never have enough weapons.
You can never
that's
have
my
enough
biggest
weapons.
takeaway.
Yeah.
Not having Keenan Allen last night, that reduced the amount of people who could make plays in the open field for Herbert.
Yep, no doubt. No doubt.
Boy, is he tough.
Herbert,
oh my God,
he should have been out of that game.
He got cracked in the ribs. Comes out for a play. I'm thinking, Jimmy.
Well, can we stop doing that?
Why?
Can we stop doing that? Every time a quarterback goes down, I see it all over everybody. Oh, Jimmy.
Because we're praying.
Nobody wants Jimmy Garoppolo.
Not praying. Not rooting for injuries. What I'm saying is we're praying we can get something back in return.
Right. Get off of it. You should have cut him. If we were going to have that conversation today, you should have cut Jimmy. I can't believe he's on the sideline.
Do you think they regret having gone through, like, now that they've gone 1 weekend, do you think they're having a little bit of buyer's remorse?
Absolutely.
I do too.
Absolutely.
I do too.
This is a different situation.
Yeah.
This is a quarterback position.
I underestimated it, but at the same time, I acknowledge that it was probably going to be there in terms of the murmurs and whatnot. It is not a murmur. I mean, it's a hurricane.
Dude, not only is it a hurricane, but imagine if the Niners get off to a slow start on Sunday in the home opener. And the Niners haven't won a home opener. They lost it last year to Green Bay. The year before, they lost it to Arizona.
Well, they didn't score a touchdown until Trey Lance came in. That's another thing people always forget about. Slow starts. Trey Lance had to come in with like 2 seconds left on the clock in the first half and run one in for a touchdown to give us some momentum.
So, I mean, you get off to a slow start, and 10 is walking up and down that sideline. You know what's going to happen, Shafsky. You know what's going to happen.
If we lose Sunday, what's the panic meter at?
Oh, it's at a 13. It's at a 15. Ring the alarms, buddy. Panic. There's no arrogance meter here, buddy. Full out panic meter. So I'm just saying, if they get off to a slow start on Sunday, and I think the Niners are going to win this football game. They better win this football game. the crowd, the guy sitting next to you, Shasky, in section 327, is going to be saying, man, I think Jimmy makes that play. The guy to the right of me is going to be like, because I saw it last year against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
See, Trey's not ready. Jimmy would have done this. Like, Jimmy didn't only have a 7-0 lead at the half against Seattle last year. Like, the guys are going to be talking all throughout that stadium. So we'll talk about it all day long. What's the key to beating Seattle? You know what's going to happen, Shasky.
I've got a unit that I, in particular, am looking at that has to step up.
It starts with Eric Armstead.
Well, that's
That
you.
unit.
I got something a little different.
What's wrong with my unit? Oh, man. All right. We're coming up. Charlie Boots is going to join us. Charlie Boots, this guy's a big-time Raider fan. Spadone's going to love him. This guy's chatted with Dick Buckus, Michael Duffer, Lincoln Kennedy, Santonio Holmes, and much, much more on the Charlie Boots Show. He's going to join us because he's the director of branding for NFL Alumni and the NFL LA NFL Academy, host of the NFL Alumni Lounge on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. We're going to get into this because he does something for players, and I think it's really, really cool. Charlie Boots joins us next. Then we'll get right back into the Niners and Hawks right here on the Frisco Friday / Payday Friday on the Morning Roast.
Pink Floyd's Roger Waters. This is not a drill.
We're doing a show in the round. It's something new. I'll look forward to the challenge.
Featuring his songs from the golden era of Pink Floyd. Friday and Saturday, September 23rd and 24th, Chase Center in San Francisco. Tickets on sale now at RogerWaters.com.
This is not a drill.
Produced by AEG Presents.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to GetRefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com. If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to GetRefunds.com/sports, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com/sports. That's GetRefunds.com/sports.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live on DAZN pay-per-view, September 17th, Part 3. Canelo versus Triple G to take the trilogy. Bad blood, a score to settle, controversy, brutality, pure hostility. For victory, for history, for the trilogy. Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin. September 17th, live on DAZN pay-per-view. Visit DAZN.com. If you're a professional builder or designer, here's some good news from Golden State Lumber. Their relationships with Capital Lumber, Cal Cascade, Humboldt Sawmill, and others have led to an increase in lumber inventory. Golden State strives to deliver most materials the next day, if not the same day. Be sure to download the Golden State app, which provides access to hundreds of resources. Find it at goldenstatelumber.com. For 3 generations, Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Heard my little sis is buying a car. You'll need my secret guide.
Gross, no way. I already used Capital One Auto Navigator.
I bet your credit score
Wasn't impacted at all, so I got my real rate and monthly payment, had an amazing test drive at the dealership, and made the purchase.
taking the easy way out. That's so you.
Still not getting it. That's so you. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/autonavigator.
Remember when you were told bigger is better? Well, that's just simply not the case. Do you want a big bill? No. A big burden? No. What about a big bulky tank water heater taking up space in your basement? No, I didn't think so. What you do want is to make all of those things smaller. Navien tankless water heaters are more efficient and take up less space than outdated bulky tanks, with cutting-edge features that improve safety, simplify processes, and increase capabilities. Once you go Navien, you'll never go back. Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Ever since I got the new Galaxy Z Flip 4, I've been learning all these new tricks with my dog Finn. Like how to take the best selfies at the park. I just set my phone down, put it in flex mode, and capture hands-free pics from multiple angles. Aww. Or how to capture our training sessions for his followers. I simply wave my hand to start recording video. Good boy! Plus, the Z Flip 4 is compact and fits perfectly in my pocket.
Oh, wow! Visit Samsung.com today to get the new Galaxy Z Flip 4.
Get a cash offer for your car, truck, or SUV today at your local Bay Area Chevy dealers. Selling has never been easier. Just bring it into a Bay Area Chevy dealer, get a free appraisal, and we'll make you a cash offer on the spot with no obligation to buy. We buy any make or model, paid off or not. Find your local Chevy dealer at BayAreaChevroletDealers.com.
On the south side, we got 6 poly panels, and please make sure they're flush.
Kwame is converting everyone on the block to solar power.
Please get a crew to wrap up 202 South Dwayne.
He needs more certified installers before the sun sets on his business boom.
Let's pick up the pace. We got a long day.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at TrackPhone.com.
Yo, Bay Area, what it do? It's your boy P-Lo. You're listening to the Morning Roast with Bonte and Shasky on 95.7 The Game.
What up, P-Lo? Album is banging. Stunner, you hear that? You hear the new album?
I got money I got.
Stunner's hard. Shout out to P-Lo.
I'm pissed that I wasn't here for that.
Oh, no. I mean, you picked a hell of a day. A hell of a week to be off.
I know.
Same week Jimmy signed back. But we did get the IG Live, which probably did numbers. Live from the hot tub in the ranch up there.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do.
We do numbers.
We do. You get arrogant on me. You're getting cocky on me.
I mean, when you do it and you actually follow through on it, it's good to let everyone know who you are.
Yeah, all right. We're efforting Charlie Boots here. We'll see if we can catch up with him. By the way, this segment is brought to you by Go to State Lumber, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoToStateLumber.com. So you said you had a unit.
Yes.
And if I had to guess.
Not G Unit.
Not G Unit. Not 50 Cent. Not Young Buck. Not Tony Yayo. And who's my other guy?
Young Buck had hitters.
Yeah,
Lloyd Banks.
Lloyd Banks. There you go. Lloyd Banks, a light-skinned guy. He had the Smile song. Smile.
Oh, We On Fire? Come on, that's still a banger.
He was the Murphy Lee of that group.
No, Tony Yayo was.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Tony Yayo was terrible.
Yeah.
I bought his album,
He was completely irrelevant.
He had 2 songs. He had 2 songs. I bought the album just because he was part of G Unit. Young Buck, though, welcome to Cashville.
Hitters. Young Buck got hitters.
Hitters. Bangers. Who you want to ride with me, ride?
Oh, yeah.
You wanna
that
ride
album
with
was
me? That album was
so
hard.
Yes.
So you got a unit and not G Unit.
Yeah.
A unit on the 49ers that needs to step up.
everyone's going to say the offensive line. And I get that because the run game and you got to protect the quarterback. The playmakers. Like, last week was a game almost impossible to evaluate any of the playmakers. You didn't see a lot of separation. The ball clearly wasn't coming out fast, and it wasn't going down the field. I need Deebo Samuel to get back to being Deebo Samuel. I need Brandon Ayuk to get back to being Brandon Ayuk. And I need somebody at the running back position. I don't know who it is. Joe, if you said Joe, I don't know. Is it Jordan Mace? Is this guy? I don't know. I don't know who it is.
It's a TDP. Ty Davis Price.
Your guess is as good as mine. I just know this. Playmakers need to make plays. That is the one element. You got to score points in this game. I need at least 25 points in this game. Ooh. If they score 25, I feel confident.
Spadonia Lutman, if you guys can, I need an updated weather report for Sunday at Levi Stadium. When you guys
get that right now.
Well, let them get that because I want to talk to you about the Seattle Seahawks and the unit that needs to dominate.
The weather app. You know?
Oh, you do have the weather app?
Yeah, you can do hour by hour, minute by minute.
Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive. I love a good weather map.
You do.
A weather app.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like the schedule. You know, I like to look at the schedule. Week 8 when you played. Like, I'm already looking at the Chargers saying, damn, that Sunday night football game is going to be tough.
I'll worry about the Chargers.
I'll worry about Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa later on. Those
and
teams are dominant.
Fraudulent coach.
And
so it does look like there is an 80% chance of precipitation. It looks like a lot of it's going to be early, though. 74%, 73% at 7 a.m. And then it's like into the 20s and 30s as the day goes on.
There you go. Weather on the sevens here with Joe Spadoni.
I love that. So the Seahawks. And
meteorologist Joe Spadoni.
We, like you said, Shasky, it's obvious the offensive line needs to step up.
It's just duh.
To me, the best positional group is the defensive line.
Okay.
And you want to throw the linebackers in there too. Dre Greenlaw, Al-Shaair, they got to play better. With 57 to 51, we're going to have the binoculars on them saying, what are they doing? Are they missing tackles or are they flying around hitting people? Because we know Seattle will. This defensive line, led by Nick Bosa, I've heard about him all training camp. We talked about him all training camp. The best defensive line coach in pro football, Chris Kosaric. We talked about him incessantly. Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, because I saw some glimpses from Javon Kinlaw last week.
Oh, he looked really good.
Javon Kinlaw looked good.
Early on.
Ebukam looked good. I need more snaps for Drake Jackson. This defensive line has to take this game over on Sunday. They've got to put their stamp on this to say, you know what, Gino? It's going to be a long day for you, buddy. It's going to be a long day. You're not going to be able to throw the ball to Will Dissly or Noah Fant or Parkinson. You're not going to be able to throw the ball downfield to Lockett and DK Metcalf. I need this D-line to be humming in a run and a pass game. No letdowns. The defensive line got out of sorts in that second half against Chicago.
Yeah.
I need them to be dominant this Sunday.
What do you think is the unit defensively for Seattle that's their strongest? Is it the D-line, the linebackers, the secondary? Because Pete's a secondary guy, and for so many years it felt like their secondary was the strength of that defense.
It's a new unit.
It really is.
There's a lot of guys
Diggs,
that we don't
I feel
know.
like, is their best player.
Is their best player. This number 10 guy.
I know. Onowusu?
Yeah, this guy is... Who is he? We're going to find out at 8:30. We're going to talk to the color commentator of the Seattle Seahawks at 8:30 here. But who is he? They moved to a 3-4 this year, Shasky. They're out of the 4-3. I like a good 3-4 defense personally.
I prefer a 3-4 defense.
Yeah, I like a good.
That's
Dave
my
Wyman.
favorite.
Dave Wyman's going to join us at 8:30 to kind of speak to who this defense is. But all I know about this defense after watching the tape back and watching the Monday Night Football game again last night, they hit. They fly around the football and they will hit you in the mouth.
What do you think of their offense? Because I'm looking at it and I feared those wide receivers so much. It just feels like to me they are even more run heavy and trying to set up that play action with Gino and all the running backs that they've got. You got to stuff their run to me and make Gino have to drop back in shotgun on 3rd and long.
Well, Rashad Penny ran the ball 12 times last week for 60 yards.
I'm so iffy on him. Like
5 yards
best.
a pop, though. 5 yards a pop.
Do you trust him?
No, I don't trust Gino. I'm pulling for Gino when he doesn't play against the 49ers because I want him to succeed because I don't like guys who we throw him away. They get drafted to a bad team, and then we say he can't play. Yeah. Like, I still believe Josh Rosen, he may be cooked at this point, Josh Rosen, but I never felt like he got a fair shake at things.
I agree with that.
He got the rookie year, and they moved off him. He goes to Miami, playing for Brian Flores. It was a messy situation in Miami.
They were losing on purpose.
Losing on purpose, basically. So, Gino, I pull for him, but this offense... They didn't score anything in the second half. I'm not that impressed with them. So this defensive line, because we're going to move Charlie Blues to 650. He'll join us after the break. They got to be dominant. You got to take they should not come in Levi Stadium and score more than 17 points, Sasky.
That's what we need. I mean, and we got to score. I mean, Bonte, like you can't be the offensive genius and not hang 25 on every opponent.
That's true. That's true. All right, what's coming up on the game? Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromise. We'll catch up with Charlie Boots here after the break. Charlie Boots coming up to talk about the NFL alumni program. That'll be a lot of fun here on the Roast.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like Square Place. That place with the square pizzas? Or Mama Hoo-Hoo? The spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so. Order up! You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
And Kirby has it as well, because Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you. Brakes, tire replacements, oil changes, so much more. Bonte, did you know this? They've added an eco-friendly wash. Barely uses any water, so it's absolutely sustainable and makes your car look so new. The ultimate convenience, easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrival, service in your driveway, no waiting rooms, no coordinating rides, direct access to the mechanic. Friendly, reliable service, no middlemen, no upsells. Get $50 off your first oil change with this code. OIL50. That's OIL50. Check out Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com.
Gorgeous gaming, stunning streams, unbelievable bandwidth. It's another Lifestyles of Gagillionaires. Meet the AT&T Fiber customers winning at life with hyper gig speeds. Meet Gagillionaire Terry. While his love of streaming horror movies has him constantly on the edge of his seat, his internet bill won't give him a scare.
Oh, don't go in there. I'm telling you.
Because since Terry upgraded to AT&T Fiber with hyper gig speeds, he doesn't worry about data caps or equipment fees.
Come on, man. The door's open for a reason.
And best yet, he also doesn't stress about a price increase at 12 months, because with the amazing Gagillionaire lifestyle comes an exquisite sense of tranquility. Most of the time. Live like a Gagillionaire. Get straightforward pricing with AT&T Fiber. Internet that upgrades everything. No data caps, no equipment fees, and no price increase at 12 months.
Limited availability in select areas. Visit att.com/hypergig for details.
At Left Coast Buyers, we buy properties all over California. If you own a house or an apartment building and want to sell it fast at a great price, call us at 925-434-5000. We can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. We buy properties in any condition, any price range. Do you own a property that is run down and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Are you out of time, money, and energy? Are you looking for an easy way to get top dollar for your property and sell on your terms and timeline? Well, call Left Coast Buyers now at 925-434-5000. We buy divorce houses, inherited houses. We even buy vacant houses and abandoned houses. Do you have a tenant who hasn't paid? Are you behind on property taxes, mortgage payments, or even facing a foreclosure? Even if you're just nervous about capital gains or an upcoming recession, we've seen it all. So if you or someone you know owns a property and needs to sell, call Left Coast Buyers at 925-434-5000. That's 925-434-5000.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everybody, it's Boomer Esiason here. When a part of your offense isn't firing on all cylinders, it shows. And sometimes the only solution is to replace that part with something new. It's true on a championship team, and it's also true with cars. That's why I love eBay Motors. They have all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, by the way. And that way you can get the parts that you need to make your car a winner. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Right now, get a special BOGO offer from Bosch. Buy a select Bosch 18-volt bare tool, get a battery free. Shop savings on all of our top pro items. Plus, MVPs earn up to 3 times bonus points on select products. Join today and redeem points for products designed to level up your business. Don't miss MVP's bonus days, happening now at Lowe's. Pricing and offers subject to change at any time. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 9/23.
Here's how we long for Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear.
The world has gone hands-free. However, if you want to put on a pair of sneakers, you still need to bend down and help your feet in. Until now. Introducing Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear. You don't need to reach down to help your heel in. You just step into them and off you go. So what's the secret? Well, there's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide into place. And they stay on just like a pair of laced-up sneakers.
Get hands-free slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill September 23rd through September 25th for their fall clearance sale event and take advantage of one-of-a-kind opportunities. Visit Friedman's Appliance Fall Clearance Sale event for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
This football season, adopt a new tradition that's sure to turn fans into family. The Jim Beam Highball. That's beam and soda over ice with a lemon slice. Share one at the stadium or make one at home. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2022, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
For all contest rules, go to 957thegame.com/rules.
Breaking news on 95.7 The Game is brought to you by Beat the Street. For tips to win a $5.6 million prize. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh my God.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
We'll get right back into the Niners at the top of the hour. We're going to talk to a good friend of the program. He's been supporting 95.7 The Game for a long, long time. We won't hold it against him that he's a Raider fan. My man has been doing a lot of work in the NFL for the NFL Alumni Association. He's the director of branding. Just had a celebrity golf classic last week at the Presidio Golf Course, Shasky. And I'm sad that I missed it. I was in Chi-Town.
Concordia Club?
Yeah, there you go. Charlie Boots is on the air. It's long time overdue. Charlie, what's happening, my man?
Bonta, Shasky, how are you guys? Good morning.
Good morning. I'm surprised you're up, man, because the way you get down, I'm like, man, 6:30, 6:50. Might be a little too early for you.
Hey, everybody gets up for the morning roast. That's what gets everybody going out here.
That's a drop. There you go, Charlie. There you go, Charlie. Shasky, ask about the golf classic. You're the resident golfer here.
Yeah, I think my buddy was playing in it, in fact. And so, what were you guys doing out at the Presidio last week?
Oh, it was beautiful. So the San Francisco Celebrity Golf Classic was there to benefit Cure Alzheimer's. We had MLB Hall of Famer Eddie Murray out there, Chili Davis, Vita Blue. We had Warriors, Giants, Niners, Raiders. It was a party for a great cause, and I hope, Bonta, I know you were getting rained on in Chicago, but I hope you guys could be out there enjoying yourselves next year.
Oh, no. We will definitely be there next year. There's no doubt about that. We will make that happen. And I was really sad that I couldn't make it happen because, I know what you do, especially with the NFL alumni. You're now the director of branding, and you're talking to everybody. I've seen you talk to Dick Buckus. I've seen you talk to all the ex-Raiders, Jim Otto, Lincoln Kennedy, Santonio Holmes. So tell us about what you're doing at the NFL Alumni Association, because I think this is really, really cool what you're doing with them.
Well, we're trying to change the game. So like you said, all those great athletes, those great people, they make up the NFL alumni. 2 years ago, we opened the NFL Alumni Academy, which was taking place in Canton, Ohio. And we were signing running backs and linemen, offensive and defensive, that were unsigned or undrafted, training them for the whole NFL season with Hall of Famers and NFL alumni to get them back into the NFL. And we got over 50 guys back to the league. Now, this year, in year 3, we're expanding to all positions. It's moving down to Arlington, Texas. And it's incredible, fellas. We're going to be not only training all positions, but guys that we don't get back into the NFL will have guaranteed contracts in the XFL, thanks to Danny Garcia, The Rock, and the folks over at the XFL. So this is exciting for the game of football.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just feel like this is an important thing to highlight because so many people, I don't care if you play soccer your whole life, baseball, basketball, football, once it's over, it's really tough. I think it's really hard for people to pivot in life, when their chances have kind of come up to an end. And so I just kind of wanted to highlight that. And I bet it's really difficult hearing from these guys who've dedicated their whole life to football, and then all of a sudden it's done.
Exactly, Shasky. And you think these guys, their whole life, they've been the best athlete on their team from pee-wee up to high school. Then they get to college. And it's just simply an opportunity game. There's only 32 franchises in the NFL. Then they drop down to 53 men, and it's like the opportunities are boom, boom, like a vacuum. But we're hoping that the NFL Alumni Academy and the XFL and the USFL and all these different opportunities that are arising in pro football wind up being a lane that we see some talent. I mean, look at the past year of the USFL and the XFL. How many guys just got their opportunity in the eyeballs, and now they're back in the pros.
Yeah, the backup for the Carolina Panthers.
Right. P.J. Walker.
Yeah, I knew it was a Walker. He's a
P.J.
ball player.
Walker.
Yeah.
He looked like Willie Beeman when he came out.
I love me some Willie Beeman. Charlie Boots on the air, Director of Branding for NFL Alumni and the NFL Academy, host of the NFL Alumni Lounge on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.
Nice.
And check out the Charlie Boots Show on YouTube. Charlie does a great job doing this stuff. And the Celebrity Golf Classic. So you had Eddie Murray out there. You had Chili Davis and Vida
He had
Blue.
my homie Dylan Smith out there.
Dylan Smith out
He's
there.
a ringer.
I think I saw Jason Dubas out there as well.
Can I get a group? Put me in with Dylan. Dylan's a stick. I mean, this guy's like a straight ringer.
He actually won it.
Did he?
He won it. Yeah, the team at Luxor won. They had Dylan and they had Ryan Winters. So
the long drive guy.
Yeah, Guinness Book of World Records champion on their team too.
Oh my
That's
God!
unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a stick. He's an absolute stud. That's really get me out there. My dad will play in any foursome at any time, and so will I.
I'll tell you what, guys. And we had everybody in the morning. Everybody who's getting down on Buena Vista came out and did their Irish.
Oh yeah.
Coffee. So
Very cool.
I think that gave those guys a leg up. I saw them avoiding the Irish coffees. That could have been it.
I was thinking it was the CBD, but that's neither here nor there.
So during the NFL season, kind of take us through what you're going about.
Yeah.
How do you set up for the XFL and the USFL? Is now the time to start recruiting those players to get them to the XFL and the USFL to kind of dress them up for the NFL next season? What is the process like once the NFL season kicks off?
So right now, application portal's open. So if you're a former player or know a player that was just cut or undrafted, send them to NFLAlumniAcademy.com. That's NFLAlumniAcademy.com. They can register there. Our scouts are former pro coaches, pro scouts, so they'll be looking over all the tape and then doing the reach outs. We'll open October 3rd, and we'll go for the remainder of the season. Camp will break in December, so it's going to be 4 sets throughout the season of 60 athletes at a time. So there'll be over 200 athletes will come through the academy this year, and we're hoping for nice big numbers returning to the NFL before the XFL opportunity opens up.
Absolutely. Now, Charlie, you've talked with a lot of different players over the years. I want to know the guy who your impression of before was completely different after you talked with them. Either they were a big-time jerk, beforehand and then ended up being real nice, or vice versa.
I got to say, two guys that were just phenomenal guys, and to this day are pals. Like you said earlier, Bonta, was Dick Buckus, who's one of the biggest jokesters. I got electrocuted me. I got electrocuted during an interview with Dick Buckus, and and Broadway Joe Namath. Just two of the most stand-up guys I ever met in my life.
I love that.
Jeez, that's wild. That's wild. And sometimes I'm looking at Charlie's Instagram page, and I'm like, how is he getting all these interviews, man? Like, how is he getting Dick Buckus? How is he getting Jim Otto and Lincoln Kennedy? He's there at the Hall of Fame, all the great Raiders, and it was good to see. I know you're a big-time Raider fan, but it was good to see Cliff Branch get his due, although it was after he passed away.
Yeah.
NFL's got to fix that. They did the same thing with Kenny Stabler. We got to get these Raiders in the Hall of Fame before they leave us on this planet.
And you know what? I was there at the party. There was a lot of those Niner guys. Steve Young was there getting down at the party. You know what? Cliff Branch, if you're in the Bay Area and you ever met Cliff Branch, you know he always had the most electric smile of all time. And it was a special night. Mark Davis and the Raiders did a great job for Cliff. And some of those guys, some of those Hall of Famers you mentioned, Bonta, they'll be joining us at the NFL Alumni Academy, which is really cool when you think you might have just gotten cut from your team. You're feeling hopeless, and now you're getting coached up by a Hall of Famer. So we're hoping that the legacies of those men continue to give to the game.
Hey, Charlie, the first time I ever met you in the Oakland Coliseum parking lot, you were cool then, you're cooler now, and you're doing the damn thing, man. We support this program. We can't wait for the Golf Classic, the SF Celebrity Golf Classic, to be back here next year. We will be there, I promise you. I may not be playing golf. Yeah, Shasky will be there.
Put me in Dylan's group.
No.
Hey, done deal. We'll build a beast, and I appreciate you guys so much for having us on to talk about the NFL Alumni Academy, and I'm always up with the morning roast.
There we go. Hey, 503 Sports too, man. You got me connected with them, and I was rocking that John Taylor jersey last week, so we love you guys over there as well. Charlie, thanks so much for the time, man.
Absolutely. Take care, fellas.
All right, Charlie Boots here on the morning roast on 95.7 Game. Why are you cheesing?
Because I want to hit up Dylan as soon as we get off this show.
You're going to hit him up next break.
And I'm going to be like, dude, you got Ryan. So Ryan's this long driver, right. Okay? You used to see him. He had shows on NBC Bay Area, and he's a long drive competition guy. He is jacked. I mean, this dude's shoulders, he looks like he could play defensive line for the 49ers. And he's hitting like 450-yard moonshots and making that course look tiny, like a peewee golf course. And Dylan is a stick. He's not good. He's incredibly good. And so the fact that the two of them were in the same group together and they ended up winning it all, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, not surprised at all. Charlie Boots here on the morning roast. Willie Beeman. I got to get that Willie Beeman jersey. You know, they told me sold the
was
13.
it the Sharks?
No, it was 13.
13.
Yeah, the Sharks, the Miami Sharks.
Yeah, Al Pacino.
They played the Ards Ball. They played at the old Ards Ball.
Wasn't T.O. one of the players in that?
Yeah, T.O. was a wide receiver with Bill Bellamy.
Yeah, with Bill Bellamy.
So when you were out...
I miss Bill Bellamy.
Craig Mack, who was on the board.
Oh, yeah, Craig Valentino.
He's going to Miami with his family. Yeah. He's going to be out for 9 days. He's always somewhere.
Brand new flavor in your ear?
Dude, Craig Mack is unbelievable.
7 remixes?
Craig Mack is one of a kind, right? So he was like, yo, you got to check out this Bill Bellamy interview. It was with T.O. on this podcast where T.O. was looking at his phone the whole time.
Oh.
Poor co-host. But anyway, Bill Bellamy told the story about when Jamie Foxx got socked by LL Cool J.
Oh.
And remember that scene in the movie where he got knocked out in the bathroom where he said there was real friction.
Oh.
And that LL Cool J slapped the hell out of him a few times. And so finally...
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'll send you the interview. And then Jamie Foxx ends up socking him back. And LL Cool J was so ticked off. They was like, hey, guys, we got to shoot this scene. Bill Bellamy said the next day, LL Cool J had his goons down in Miami ready to roll. And Jamie Foxx was like, oh, well, I don't really have anybody on my, LL Cool J had his dudes from New York on the first flight smoking down in Miami. There was real beef there. They were arguing or something like that. And LL Cool J was like, you want to play Big Bank, take Little Bank? I'll show you my check stub. Or no, he goes, I'll show you my bank statement. Let me see yours. It was like, whoa, LL, chill, dude. It's just a movie. You're not really James Washington, the running back. You're LL Cool J. It's a movie.
Hey, but LL had hitters. I know we know him as an actor now, but he had hitters.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
What's the one thing, like I think of the apple, him eating the apple in that one video.
Well,
doing it well.
Yeah, I mean, gosh.
But the other thing I think of is the pant leg rolled up.
Yes, and the FUBU wave cap. Yeah, all day long. And the goggles, he had the little glasses.
Yeah.
For a second, LL was a G, man.
I also think that he's on steroids.
Maybe. He is jacked out of his mind.
I heard he was going to change his name to HGH Cool J.
Don't do that shit. Wait a minute.
I have never used steroids.
You know what?
That was funny. Come on, that was funny.
No. I'm not going to do that. How are you going to come at me saying, but Aloha hitters, and then you go out there and disrespect them 5 seconds later?
We know for a fact that Stallone had the steroids. It's okay.
Stallone.
It's okay.
LL's natural, baby.
Back to the Niners.
Yeah, come on, man. You're going to do that to LL, too. Don't let LL.
Anybody could get it on a Friday.
Hey, but you know what? Don't let LL hear that.
You know what? While we're here,
Kevin Barlow is still on his way to town looking for you.
Let's reset with the 49ers.
Right.
I want to hear my anthem one more time.
All right, hold on. Before we do that, let me just let everybody know you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM, and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. All right, hit us with the anthem. Let's go. (888) 957-9570. It's a Frisco/Payday Friday.
A 40 water Friday.
And it's time to rep your city. Where you from? Where you at? How you listening? How you watching? 888-957-9570. We want to hear your keys to Sunday's game. Who's your X factor? How did the Niners pull out their first victory of the 2022 season? Shanahan so far 2-3 in home openers. Lost his first one at Carolina. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Lions the next season. Then they beat the Steelers in 2019. And then of course, they lost to the Arizona Cardinals during the pandemic season at home, and last season against Green Bay Packers in Week 3 when Aaron Rodgers and company came to Levi Stadium and won that football game. So 888-957-9570. What's your X factor? To me, defensive line has to dominate. Point blank. They have to dominate, Shasky. They need to set the tone from snap number 1 all the way through. They can't blow 10-point leads. This is on the defensive line this week. I'm looking at Chris Kosaric, Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, Drake Jackson, and the rest of that crew to dominate Geno Smith and that Seahawks offense.
Well, you're looking at a first-round pick in Charles Cross, who's going to play left tackle. He's a rookie. All right. Damian Lewis, does that ring a bell for anyone?
No.
Austin Blythe? No. How about Gabe Jackson? He used to play for the Raiders. Mm-hmm. All right, he's the other right guard. And then you go to the other side of that line. So on one end, it's a rookie who was taken in the first round. Yep. On the other end, at tackle, Abram Lucas, who was taken in the third round. You've got 2 rookies. Bonte, there's no excuse to not dominate the offensive line for the Seahawks when you have 2 rookies starting against you right now, and you're Nick Bosa. You better hunt.
You better hunt. Geno last week in that second half against the Denver Broncos. Remember, Seattle didn't score a point. Geno Smith, 6-10 for 31 yards in that second half. Seattle didn't score anything. DK, 7 catches, 36 yards. Tyler Lockett, 3 catches, 28 yards. So they'll be chomping at the bit to kind of explode this week. But it's a divisional game. You have lost 4 in a row to the freaking Seahawks. Pete Carroll's 18-7 all time against you. And you know they're going to be coming in full of swagger. They feel like they could deal the Niners an early death blow this Sunday at Levi Stadium. I mean, you got to have this game.
The one thing that cannot happen in this game
is falling behind early.
You can't let Marquise Goodwin score a touchdown. I can't have back-to-back revenge touchdowns with 2 49er cast-off wide receivers. I can't have it. And I like Marquise Goodwin, but I mean, if he's scoring touchdowns, when he caught a pass in Monday Night Football, did you do the same thing I did? Marquise Goodwin's on the Seahawks?
I thought he was out the league.
Me too.
I was like, Marquise Goodwin, Jesus
Him Christ. And Ted Ginn Jr. will be open over the top, dropping balls until they're 80.
Yep. No doubt.
Wide open drop.
But he'll catch that one.
Exactly.
And that one may burn you. All right, texting in from Boise, Idaho, the 208 on the Comcast Business text line. We need to see a clean game.
Yeah.
No drive extending penalties or no turnovers. We haven't talked enough about that. The 12 penalties. The 4th most in the Shanahan era in a single game.
3 pre-snap.
3 pre-snap. You had the face mask on defense. You had the defensive holding on Charvarius Ward. It just can't have that.
No.
Not with the young quarterback.
No, and for me, it's the drive extending ones. Those are the crucial ones. They've just got to play a little more buttoned up and more disciplined. And look, this team got stops. The problem is when you get a stop and then you give up a personal foul, not only are you giving them a first down,
right?
You can flip field position. I mean, when you're giving up 15-yard personal foul chunks, those are huge. So they got to be very, very careful. Gino actually does a pretty good job with his legs, surprisingly.
He does. How about this one from Oreo Cookie in a 510 Comcast Business text line? He's from Oakland, roasting on the Odyssey app. It's not a must-win. It's a you better win game.
I'm with him on that one.
It's a you better win.
I'm with him on that.
I'm a little nervous that if they do get behind early, that there's going to be some nervous energy in that crowd. And then how's the support system going to show up for Trey Lance? Because Mike Martz yesterday joined Willard and Salisbury. Here's, again, he reiterated what he had to say on Monday.
You have to start, with Shannon and John Lynch. Obviously, I think the world of them, I know they know what they're doing. They're beyond reproach, in my opinion. I know that they've had him for a year, and it was just so hard for me to understand how he could play like that. I know he's being coached. I know all that stuff. It was very disappointing, to say the least. And, they're such a good team. I'm excited for the 49ers. I think that they can win that, division and be real good this year. And it was hard to watch him play. And I know that does happen, Sean. You've seen quarterbacks in your career have a moment like that, and hopefully that's all that is. But it wasn't good. It just makes you wonder. Now, hopefully he can get past that and play well this next week, and if he doesn't, then they've got a dilemma on their hands.
Oh, he also said he expected a lot from Trey Lance last week.
Just listening to what everybody said, I was really anticipating more than what we saw, of course, in that game. So I don't know what he is, and maybe he's one of those guys that's going to take a few years. But in the meantime, they've got a really good football team. So what do you do, right? So hopefully they can win while he develops and comes along. And if he doesn't, then I think they probably would need to make a change.
Oh, we about done with Mike Martz? I'm asking you.
I got one more for you.
All right. I'll let you play it, and then I'll...
You're seeing your react quickly without having to think about your throws. So, just flashes, the ball's out. Boom. And if you have to think about what you're seeing, then you're late with the ball. And he certainly is late with the ball to me. And not real accurate, and he's late with the ball. The other thing is there's a mental toughness and a physical toughness that goes with that you can fight through these kinds of things and come back out on top and play well. In Kurt's first start for us against Baltimore, he threw 3 picks in the first half. He came back and was brilliant in the second half. That's when I knew we had one, And hopefully Trey can do that. But it's unfair for me really because I don't see him every day, to know what he is as a passer. All I know is what I saw in that game, and it was very concerning to me.
So I was with Mark Willard and Sean Salisbury yesterday right here on 95.7 The Game, and I thought Mike Martz was absolutely delusional during that interview. I listened to the whole thing live. I thought it was delusional.
I just don't care about Mike Martz anymore.
It's unbelievable.
Look, this is a guy. Look, just hear me out for a second. He's closer to 80 than he is to 50. Number one, okay. He's been removed from the game for over a decade for a reason. All right, his mind is you have to play the quarterback like a statue because that's the way he came up. He can't even compartmentalize how you're supposed to play the game now. I guarantee you he's got issues with Mahomes' mechanics and Mahomes and the way he plays the game and this, that, and the other. Right. So I just don't care what Mike Martz has to say anymore. This is a guy who didn't get the 49er job and has hated us ever since. All right? He thought J.T. O'Sullivan was a good quarterback. All right? Everyone points to Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner had success in multiple places with multiple coaches. Right. Mike Martz had success with one person.
One guy.
Okay?
Kurt Warner.
He didn't have success with Jim Everett before him. He didn't have success with Jamie Martin or Mark Bulger or J.T. O'Sullivan or Tim Rattay or Sean Hill. No. All right? He was in Washington, couldn't do anything with Gus Frerotte. Oh, he was also the guy who was with Joey Harrington and Dan Orlovsky, and he couldn't do anything with those guys. Why do we think that this guy is some quarterback guru? Does he know football? Of course he does. He's out of touch. I don't care what Mike Martz has to say. And coincides with him launching a new website and a podcast that I will not be subscribing to.
Oh, man. You want another laugh here? I'm going to give you a laugh. 650 Comcast Business Text Line. Bonte needs to stop the Niner talk and get to Shanko. There you go. Just cool your jets a little bit on a Friday. It's Payday Friday.
You know what's funny? Can we just for 1 second before you go back out there?
707, Pat the Nap. We out here picking grapes with the Morning Roast on the Odyssey app. Thanks for getting me through a crazy harvest with all this Niners talk. Please do not give Geno the game with 3 yards. I agree, 707.
I'm with you on that.
Thanks, Pat.
And can we also do this? Can we stop giving credibility to people who stood next to someone who was generational?
Right.
No, I'm serious.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner was a generational quarterback who played great in multiple locations. And anybody who stood next to him got a little of the pixie dust. We've done this with Belichick. How many Belichick assistants have gone on to do nothing?
Nothing. Romeo Crennel, Charlie Weiss, Mike Patricia, Bill O'Brien, Joe Judge.
We do this in sports. I don't know why we do this. How many Popovich disciples have done nothing?
Yeah.
How many guys on Steve Kerr's staff? I love Steve Kerr. We all love Steve Kerr. And I love all these guys. They've all gotten chances.
Yeah.
None of them have really done a whole lot.
No.
All right? But they stand next to someone who's great, and we just attribute all the characteristics of who actually is great to these individuals. Mike Lombardi's another one. He's out here bumping his lips every single week.
Michael Lombardi
he stood next to Belichick for 5 seconds, and now we think that he was the mastermind behind something. Mike, you ain't done jack.
Well, we have the second
I
cue
should
card.
just go sit next to the Bill Walsh cemetery grave, and maybe someone will hire me, and I'll be a quarterback guru. I'm like, former guy who stood next to Bill Walsh for 6 seconds at his grave, now knows quarterback play. Here's Joe Shasky, ex-scout. Get the hell out of here. So sick of these people. And they have agendas, too. That's the other thing. Mike Martz didn't get the job when Singletary did.
He did.
He's hated the Niners ever since. He also tried to do that in Chicago.
Right.
And that's why he doesn't like Chicago either.
Yeah, no
Mike
doubt.
Martz, your time's about done, bud.
By the way, Mike Martz and Michael Lombardi, newest additions to the cue card. 2 card. The cue card is 2 cards deep now. Now, if we had a cue card for the Golden State Warriors, this entire studio will be plastered with cue cards. But we're not there yet. But the cue card, we're now on cue card number 2. And no, Guru, you're still on the cue card. You're still there.
Oh.
Let's come on the game. Sponsored by Chilton Auto Body. Your phone calls 888-957-9570.
So let's make that happen this year. Okay?
Have you been in a car accident? Chilton Auto Body has 15 convenient Bay Area locations to help restore your vehicle to pre-accident condition. Chilton Auto Body is also actively hiring for all positions. For more details, head to ChiltonAutoBody.com, the Bay Area's leader in collision repair.
After a wet and sloppy week 1.
Annoying to give a game away like that, and then just happy to get back to California.
Trey Lance and the Niners face the hated Seattle Seahawks in the home opener.
Wilson, pressure off the edge, releases it, and it is intercepted by Greenlaw. Trey Greenlaw, can you believe this?
The best 49ers coverage is right here on 95.7 The Game.
Are you ready for your palm reading, my dear?
Yeah, let's do this.
I sense that you crave something.
More reliable.
Right. You know you deserve better and want out of a relationship.
Yes, with my big name wireless carrier.
You're who now?
My big name wireless carrier. That's why I switched to Xfinity Mobile. Now I get unlimited with 5G for $30 per month on the most reliable 5G network.
Let's talk about your aura. It's so...
And get this. They can even save you hundreds a year on your wireless bill over T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon.
Wow, that's actually really impressive.
Yep, but you already knew that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I definitely saw this coming.
Start seeing savings today. Switch to the fastest mobile service, Xfinity Mobile. Now with the best price on 2 lines of unlimited, just $30 a line per month. Switch today. Xfinity Internet required. Price comparison for 2 unlimited lines under available 5G pricing plans of top 3 carriers. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds up to 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Most reliable based on root metrics. US report. Comcast analysis of mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data from Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Q2 2022.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Pink Floyd's Roger Waters. This is not a drill.
We're doing a show in the round. It's something new. I'll look forward to the challenge.
Featuring his songs from the golden era of Pink Floyd. Friday and Saturday, September 23rd and 24th, Chase Center in San Francisco. Tickets on sale now at rogerwaters.com.
This is not a drill.
Produced by AEG Presents.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like Square Plaza. That place with the square pizzas? Or Mama Hoo-Hoo. The spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so. Or up! You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Imagine a world with endless possibilities. I'm talking endless saving and endless hot showers. Yeah, you heard me right. Endless hot showers. With Navien, that dream is now a reality. Navien tankless water heaters deliver a continuous flow of hot water for as long as you need it. No waiting for a tank to reheat more water, wasting time and energy. The compact design saves you space and money in comparison to traditional tank water heaters. It's time to make the switch and make your hot water dreams come true. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
As you know, sports teams plan well ahead of the next season. If you're thinking of remodeling your home, consider the same strategy. Talk with your designer or builder now about your next project. Golden State Window and Door has new inventory coming online. Milgard, Anderson, and Marvin. See Golden State Window and Door's wide variety of accessories at convenient showrooms across the Bay Area or goldenstatelumber.com. Since 1954, Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Now, back to the morning roast with Vontae and Shasky.
A little 50 Cent Friday. It's because Spadoti's on the board. I see you working. By the way, Spadoti, the king of showing his taco meat around the studio. Just wears a jacket. We got to get a gold chain under there, though. Where's the chain at?
I misplaced it. The crucifix is somewhere.
Get the chain going. Taco meat, Spadoni. We got Loveman in the building. Shasky with the #1 custom-made jersey with the 75 on it. He's ready to roll. He's ready to roll. Look at him. He's ready to go for Sunday. Levi Stadium, home opener. Home opener. Who's going down to the game? I'm going to crash a tailgate or two. Freeze me. Then I'm going to hit that 49er team store up. See what they got going on in there. Need a new hat.
You might need a new beanie for that game. It's going to be a little wet.
Nah, I got the North Face with the hoodie.
Wet.
Wet. What's up, wet? Hope you're good out there. Going to be a lot of wet balls out there. I'm going to have to dry them up. Trey Lance threw a lot of wet balls last week. 6-5. This is not going anywhere, man. Comcast Business Text Line. My DMs are splattered with comments like this. Bonte needs to be the king of buying a ring ASAP. I mean, come on. We got to press
Go
pause.
from boyfriend to hubby. So let's make that happen this year. Okay?
Get her a ring with no diamond and see how she reacts. Tiffany B's. I'm seeing Shayco. Seeing Diamond Cut. Where'd you get your ring at, Shasky?
Where did I get? Oh, I got it from one of my buddies, the jewelry center. Yeah, he had the hookup getting in there. I was trying to think of where I got it. It was like 12, 13 years ago, 14 years ago. It was a while ago.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
So you got it.
Or was it the gift center? Yeah, I guess it's the gift center on Bryant.
Pawn shop?
No. You have to like sign in, show your ID, type into the stupid little iPad these days.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right. By the way, we're going to do this because we did it 2 weeks ago. It was really fun. And we got to get back to doing this. It's a Friday. And at 7:45, we like to give the shameless shout-outs. Shameless shout-outs, 7:45. We're going to do it again. So line them up, 888-957-9570. And what we like to do, too, on a Friday, it's high school football season.
Yeah.
It's high school volleyball season.
Yeah.
Shout out your high school football team. Shout out your son. Shout out your daughter who may be a cheerleader. Shout out your daughter who may be a volleyball player. Shout out your liquor store. Shout out City College of San Francisco.
This is how we do it. For example, shout out the O Club last night. We won a game. Beat the Silverbacks.
But the Silverbacks.
Yeah, we 29-13 or something like that. It was
Softball?
very nice. Oh, yeah, less than an hour.
A little back-to-back game?
Well, I played Wednesday night and then Thursday night, so shout them out.
So 29-13.
And Crow was pitching quite well last night.
How did JP Money do?
JP Money did not play on Thursday.
Why not?
He's not on the O Club softball team.
Why?
He plays basketball.
Wait, I thought he just went 4 for 40 the other day.
That was
in softball.
in another team.
So he only plays for that team. He doesn't want to play for the O
He's like a fill-in on that team.
He went 4 for 4.
As in, I'll fill him in when the schedule gets announced, and we'll see how many players we have.
Wow.
And we may or may not call him. Love you, bud.
Wow. 888-957-9570. Shameless shout out. Shout out to the O Club for beating the Silverbacks. Crow actually pitched well, huh?
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah.
You say it like it's a surprise.
Well, I mean, just he needed a bounce back performance like Trey Lance after a no-show the week before.
By the way, Spadoni, do you have the Mike Lombardi sound? Let me know when you have the Mike Lombardi sound, because Shasky, I want you to listen to this one. You thought Mike March drove you crazy. Michael Lombardi. It's called the Lombardi Line on VSIN, the VSIN network. Remember that network that was showing the WEEI in Boston that we were watching? Bob Ryan was on there. Ray Rattle was on there. So Lombardi signed a contract with them, apparently. And now he's being critical of Trey Lance, of course, and he gave his reaction.
Big shocker.
To Mike Martz being critical of Trey Lance.
How many times a year do you
Justin
think Mike
Fields.
Lombardi smiles? 3?
Should we get him back on the show? Because you guys always talk about Florio and I getting into it. You and Lombardi got into it tough.
Well, he's a saltine cracker. I mean, geez Louise, dude. The guy's drier than the Mojave Desert.
Here's Michael Lombardi.
And let's put things in perspective, first and foremost. I don't care what you think about Mike March, but let me give you some background. Mike March, Bill Walsh said this in 1984 to me. Very few people can evaluate the quarterback. Even fewer can coach him. And even fewer can bring it all together and call plays, right? So Mike March can do that. You don't find Mark Bolger in the 5th or 6th round and make him into a serviceable NFL quarterback if you don't have the eye for that. You don't find Ryan Fitzpatrick, a 7th-round pick from Harvard, and turn him into that. You don't find Kurt Warner, who wouldn't even throw the ball. Ask Ron Wolf. He wouldn't even throw the ball in Green Bay when they signed him as a college free agent. Wouldn't even throw it and turn him into a Hall of Fame player. Like, Mike March knows the position. He can evaluate the position. If I were the GM in either San Francisco or Chicago and he uttered those statements, I would be scared to death that we blew it. Now, I wouldn't have been with either one of those players because I wouldn't have taken them because I saw it before March said it, and I agree.
Michael Lombardi, baby. He dropped the Bill Walsh 1984.
When he was the low-level scout getting coffee.
He wasn't even getting coffee.
I mean,
he was cleaning the toilet.
He loves to throw that on his resume.
Loves it. Loves it. So then I wouldn't take it because I was saying it before Mike Martz.
Can I just let for the audience out there?
I want to.
I love that he really thinks. Let me just give you to be contextual here. This is a man who ran the Cleveland Browns in 2013 and 2014. They went 4-12 in 2013. Here's their draft. First round pick. Top 10 pick. Actually 6 overall.
Right.
Barkevius Mingo. Yeah, you nailed that one. And then a bunch of other guys that no one's ever heard of. And then let's go to 2014 because this is you want to talk about chef's kiss? I mean, Michael Lombardi, I would never draft that quarterback. Oh, well, wait a minute. You drafted Justin Gilbert in 8th overall, and then 22nd overall, you drafted Johnny Manziel. Is that you, bud? And then you went 6-9 that year.
Did he get fired the next year?
Yeah. I would never do that. You drafted Johnny Manziel, dude. Come on, like think of that. I'm not saying that the guy doesn't know football, but come on. Again, how many times a year is this dude smiling?
Not much. Not much. Not much.
Imagine being that miserable in life.
Well, 1984, he got to talk to Bill Walsh, though. Oh. You think Bill Walsh is really fraternizing with Michael Lombardi?
If his name was Mike Smith instead of Lombardi, and he has no relation to Vince.
Right.
But if his name was Mike Smith, would anyone care?
Nobody would care. Nobody cares now. Nobody cares. I just wonder, before Bill Walsh left us, hey, Bill, what about that Mike Lombardi guy, man? Great personnel. Who? Bill Walsh probably had no idea who he was. No idea. Hey, is the laundry clean? Do you have my North Face San Francisco jacket? You know, the North Face that Bill Walsh used to rock? Yes. Do you have that one, Michael? When that 1984, Bill Walsh told me, Bill Walsh didn't tell you anything.
Me and him,
why you lying?
These deep philosophical sit-downs.
And I was on it before Mike Martz. I would have drafted none of these guys.
Oh, yeah, that was my favorite.
That was the best, right?
And then Kurt didn't attempt to pass at Green Bay practice. Yeah. So what did he do? I get hyperbolic. I admit it. It takes one to know one. Come on, Mike. Ratchet it down like 8 levels.
Shameless shout-outs.
Jesus.
745 888 957.
And we know who you wanted.
9570.
You wanted Mac Jones.
Right.
We get it.
Where's the Mac Jones hype train at now?
Well, his doctor said he might need a backiotomy. I don't know if you saw him over the weekend. He got filleted like some fish.
I broke my back.
How's that Matt Patricia OC thing working out?
Joe Judge?
I told you, I'm out on the New England Patriots this year.
And you know what?
Could you just imagine for a second? I would have never have picked that guy. You literally was the guy. You were the guy that drafted Johnny Manziel.
Backiotomy. You're on fire today, man. You're rolling.
I thought Johnny was going to be so sick.
No,
okay. But
Johnny football.
I mean,
come on, man.
Can we just, whether you thought it or not, you were the dude that took him. I would have never taken any of these guys. But if Manziel's available, I will trade back into the first round and take him.
Shout out to, you're right, 405. Shout out to Michael Lombardi for making me laugh on a Friday morning. I knew that was good. I saw that clip rolling around Twitter, and I was chucked. Now, it's 3 minutes long. We only play like 45 seconds of it. Is there more, Spinoni? Is there more at all? Let me know when you have more of what Michael, because I want to finish the clip, because it's great. It's great comedy. 888-957-9570. Shameless shout-outs coming up in 17 minutes. Line them up. Shout out whoever you want to shout out. Birthdays, your mama, your daddy, your dog. Shout out whoever you want to shout out. Here's more of Michael Lombardi this week. This is great.
Because I saw it before March said it, and I agree. I turned the tape on yesterday or Monday afternoon, and I wrote this for VEASAN before Mike said it. Before Mike said it, I wrote the worst quarterback in that game wasn't Lance. It was Fields. They were both bad, but Fields is worse. Fields can't read. He can't read the progression. It's one look and go. And if he can make a play like a high school play where he scrambles out and throws the ball to Pettis across the field, God bless. There you go. Mm-hmm. But Bear fans, you didn't upgrade yourself from Trubisky. You gave it all up. Ryan Pace's gift to you, besides a bad offensive line, is perhaps not having another quarterback. Now, they can come out, and Eberflus can talk about how proud he was of him and all the things he did. No. I'm with Mike Martz on this. As for Trey Lance, I agree. How is Lamar Jackson the 32nd pick in a draft? Okay, how is Lamar Jackson the 32nd pick of the draft, and Trey Lance is held in such high esteem by Twitter, by people that think he's going to be the MVP, and he goes third overall, and somebody pays 2 number ones to get him, but they completely ignore Lamar Jackson? How is that even possible? Like, Lamar Jackson at Louisville was a man. I watched every game. He was a man. Now, was he a quick-minded, accurate? No, but he was a man. He was a better version of what Michael Vick was at Virginia
God, please
Tech.
Turn this off. Just turn this off. This is giving me a headache. I can't listen to him. He's talking about thoughts and thinking. And just,
so Lamar Jackson, your colleagues, Michael Lombardi, thought Lamar Jackson should move to wide receiver. You thought he should move to wide receiver. Bill Polian. Isn't Bill Polian in the Hall of Fame? Thought he should move to wide receiver. So we all remember what happened with Lamar Jackson. The Michael Lombardis of the world basically just disrespected him, and he went 32 overall. Now, as far as Trey Lance, I watched the tape. When did I watch it? Today or Monday afternoon? I wrote this down before Mike Martz said it. I wrote it down before Mike Martz said it. Can you believe him? Can you believe? Hey, tell me that isn't funny. Tell me that isn't funny, man.
I'm just so like. It's just too much. We're just doing too much.
He literally slandered Lamar Jackson.
Look at
while also giving him a compliment.
We watched 2 great quarterbacks play last night. Great. I'm
not even calling Justin Herbert great yet. He's a good quarterback who can be great. It's too early for that.
Well, okay.
Everybody's crowning him.
He's had a couple of pretty great seasons.
I see people, Mike Tannenbaum said on national TV, I'd rather have Herbert over Mahomes.
Well, Mahomes.
Mike Martz said, I'd rather have Herbert over anybody in the league.
He has 160 touchdowns in 4 complete seasons in the NFL as a starter.
Come on,
160. Man. All right? Mahomes is incredible. But even those 2 guys, they're missing throws all over that field. They're throwing into double and triple coverage multiple times. And I'm not saying that there wasn't great defense being played in that game.
Right.
But the hyperbolic nature with which we're ready to crush 22-year-olds, it's really out of control. Like, Bonte, it's out. This year, I feel like more than any other year, we've jumped the shark with criticism.
And week 2 just started.
That's what I'm saying.
Week 2 just started.
Can we let these guys play a little?
Week 2 just started. So, 888-957-9570.
It's insane.
Shameless shout-outs coming up, 7:45.
Where were all these people when Justin Herbert, now that Justin Herbert's shown himself, where were all these people who, at the beginning of the draft process, were like, Miami has to take Herbert, number 3 overall?
Nobody said that. Nobody was saying that.
Where are all these people? Why didn't anyone say Cincinnati has to take Herbert, number 1 overall?
Right.
You know why? Because sometimes we don't know.
We're wrong. It's tough. We're wrong. But the over-the-top slander towards Trey Lance and Justin Fields. Justin Fields gets a lot of this slander. And we saw Justin Fields at Ohio State win big games. Big games. We don't have the same energy for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence went to Washington and lost. He's supposed to be. Trevor Lawrence came out in the draft and they said he's the next Peyton Manning.
Andrew Luck.
Can't miss prospect. I watched Trevor Lawrence live twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Once at Levi's, once at Glendale, Arizona. And then we watched him in the semifinal against. He regressed as his career went along at Clemson. Now, he's still a very good player at Clemson. But we don't have that same energy. What about Zach Wilson? How is Zach Wilson skating by? He can't even stay on the football field. And when he is on the football field, he's throwing into triple coverage. He's making erratic plays. He's taking bad sacks. Where's that same energy for him? And don't even get me started on Mac Jones.
Last night, 1 really good and promising quarterback, 1 great quarterback. Right. However you want to break it down.
Right.
How many interceptable balls were thrown last night?
At least 7.
Right? Combined.
Okay.
Now, again.
And Herbert did throw the pick 6 that basically ended the game for the Chargers.
Nobody is sitting here saying that Trey is on the level of either of those 2 players. He is so far away from those guys right now. There's no doubt about it. But we highlight all the great things those 2 players did last night in that game, and we really minimize a lot of the lower level stuff. I mean, it's multiple times in one drive, Pat Mahomes almost threw like 3 picks.
Yep, no doubt.
And then stepped up and threw a 40-yard bomb, and you're like, my God, he's incredible.
Look at Herbert on a final possession for the Chargers. couldn't even run because his midsection was cracked.
Yes.
Threw into triple coverage.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, he throws a dime to Carter down the field. How did he make that
We all
throw?
thought the same thing.
Right.
Get him out of the game. And then 2 seconds later, oh my God, what a throw.
Exactly.
So what I'm asking you this morning is, after this week, even if he plays like crap next week, can we just stop regurgitating the other people around the country talking about this guy? Let me ask you.
I just want to know,
forget
Shasky.
what he can't do.
No. Where's the same energy for the other quarterbacks in the draft class?
Well, it's not going to be there.
Mac Jones,
because
Zach Wilson,
they don't
and Trevor
have
Lawrence.
Jimmy Garoppolo standing on the sideline, and that's really where we're at right now.
But Justin
and also,
Fields gets heat.
I know, but and this coach and this team we deem to be significantly better than those other teams that are there. So we know the kid's not the most accurate on the underneath stuff.
Right.
But let me ask you, what are the things he is doing well right now that are transferable to Sunday?
Throwing the ball down the field, throwing the ball with zip, processing information. He's not in a hurry to leave the pocket. For a young quarterback, you see a lot of young quarterbacks who are like, you know what? First read ain't there, I'm gone. Trey Lance stays in the pocket, maybe a little too long.
Well, now I feel like that's been a negative criticism because people are like, oh, he's not a runner. We've been saying that for a long time.
Day one.
He's not a runner. He's going to reset his feet and try to throw downfield.
So that's what it is.
What else is he doing well?
I think he's processing information well. I think he's tucking and running when he needs to. Now he needs to learn how to slide.
Oh, that is a number one component for me.
He's taking way too many shots.
So right now, just to give you some numbers, through the 3 games that he's played as a starter, he would break the single season rush attempts record by like 40 or 50 attempts. Lamar has, I think, the record at 130, 140 rush attempts in a season for a starting quarterback. If Lance continues on the pace that he is through 3 games, he would be close to 180 attempts.
I know.
For a season. That's too many.
Poise, composure, running a huddle. Trey Lance never got rattled on Sunday.
I agree. He was composed amidst all of the chaos.
And this is another underrated thing. It was a bad interception to Eddie Jackson. That was a one ball where you're like, man, I wish he had it back.
A clear interceptable pass.
You know what? How many times has Eddie Jackson taken that back to the house? Ever since he was at Alabama. The kid made the tackle. Now, you don't get bonus points for making a tackle on your interception, but the kid stuck his head there and kept him in the game. I'm expecting defense to get a stop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He made the tackle.
It did feel like on that drive, the defense was just so emotionally broken. Boom, you just let Herbert walk right on in. The kid needs to be able to shake off whatever happened last week, step up this week, and just play a solid game. Sean Salisbury said it yesterday, and he made a great point. He's going to find out a lot about Trey Lance in the first half of this week's game because what you did last week is irrelevant. How do you respond? And I agree with that.
No doubt. No doubt. By the way, a lot of people I know want to talk about the video that circulated yesterday. Now, there's a video out with a lot of people think it's Trey Lance out there with strippers. And he's throwing money around, the stripper dancing or whatnot. I don't know if it's Trey Lance. We don't have any proof of that being Trey Lance. So I'm not going to say it's Trey Lance in the video. But hypothetically, if it is Trey Lance in that video, is that a problem? Guy's 22 years old. I became a manager at UPS. My first check was blown at a strip club. I was 24 years old. 24. We talk about Magic City all the time. Limit Pepper Lou's, right? We do it on TV.
We just watched a Jeter doc where it's being immortalized. He's a single man. He's allowed to do what he wants. I will say this, B, you might not have a problem with it. I really don't have any, even if it is, obviously Trey Lance, I don't have a huge problem with it either. But I have to be fair here. It's not a great look, optic-wise.
Why is it not a great look?
Because I've told you that I expect a little more from my quarterbacks. Now, look. Legally, morally, we could go down many rabbit holes here. I'm just saying, like, I try not to have my franchise quarterback put himself in positions to where it just might be a bad optics look. That's all. And I'm trying to use similar energy that I would use for any other quarterback around the league. You know, it's the face of your corporation. It's just not the greatest. Is it wrong? Probably not at all.
But look.
But I'm just saying it's,
you know. When Jimmy Garoppolo dated a porn star, we argued about that. I didn't have a problem with it.
No, you didn't.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care
it's a bad look. It's literally what I said.
People have their phones. I don't think it's a bad look. You can date who the hell you want to date.
Oh, that's no doubt.
If I'm a quarterback for the 49ers and I'm single, God knows what I'd be doing.
Jimmy. To me, there's just so much this week. It's the last thing we needed. Can you meet me there? And I don't even know when if it is him.
If it is Trey Lance, who knows?
It could have been a year ago. It could have been a week ago, a month ago. I don't know.
The biggest problem is whoever released the video. Why did you release the video?
Why is that?
Because why would you put that? You know that there's going to be. I had somebody tweet me yesterday. I used to like Trey Lance, but now I saw this video. I don't like him anymore. Because he was with some strippers. You're going to get that person out there.
Well, and this goes back to...
Because there's this negative connotation about strip clubs. You don't think Cam Newton was down there in Carolina having fun? They love Cam Newton in Carolina. But it cares. It shouldn't be a big deal. Guy's single. He wants to blow his money. Now, you could probably make better use of your money if you want to argue about that. But personally, I don't care. I don't care. Debo's always in the club.
Yeah, but he's different. Again,
he's always in the club. You paid him pretty good money.
I'm telling you, for me, linebackers, linemen, DBs, wide receivers, I just view them totally different than the way I view quarterback. I personally, if it is him, it's just a bad look. That's all. It's not the end of the world. He's a young guy. I don't think there's anything morally wrong with it, or that the guy should be crushed or whatever. It's just a bad look.
Johnny Manziel was doing lines in Vegas, and people were like, "Oh, Johnny football." Johnny football.
Well, all these guys. Baker Mayfield was running from the cops.
Bills.
You know what I mean? Like, we could do the comparative shopping till we're blue in the face. For Trey, everything that's going on this week, it just feels like
it's a lot.
The straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of there's just the waterfall is overflowing.
This is a crazy question. Crazy question before we get to show.
He needs a win in the worst way.
I was going to say, who needs to win more, the 49ers or Trey Lance?
I think Trey and Shanahan, more than anyone on the planet, need it right now.
No doubt. Let's go to Bud in Oakland. Bud, what's happening? You're on the roast.
What's going on, fellas? Listen, man, I just wanted to call in real quick and just talk a little bit about the negative connotation that's always pointed towards the black quarterbacks in the league, as opposed to the white quarterbacks. Now, I know y'all might not be ready for the race thing this morning, but listen, that's what it is. Anytime, just look at the Deshaun Watson case. They blew it out of proportion. Not saying he wasn't wrong, but when Ben Roethlisberger had 2 or 3 of these incidents, it was like swept under the rug. Look at Brett Favre. He's stealing money from the state of
Mississippi.
But it's been passed under the rug. But look at Shannon Sharp, what he said. Had that been a black man or anybody stole some WIC or EBT, you'd have been rushed to jail for $400. So they were talking about how Trevor Lawrence looks so good or whatever. He could be this, he can be that. Trevor Lawrence was garbage. I don't care if it was Urban Meyer's system, whatever. He was garbage. Trey Lance looked way better than Trevor Lawrence when he was on the field for the time being. For the things that he did. All I'm saying is when it comes to the black man, there's always going to be a negative connotation. Okay, yeah, the man was in a strip club. Yeah, he was somewhere having fun. If that was him, he's living his life. He's got money. Everybody want to live their life with a little bit of money. And then, like for the last night, for the guys who said something about they'll take Patrick Mahomes, or they'll take Justin Herbert over Patrick Mahomes. Listen, Patrick Mahomes is a star-studded already.
He's ridiculous. He's the best player in the league.
Super Bowl win.
Yeah, he's the best player in the league.
Super Bowl win. So why? So it's always going to be a racial bias, whether we want to admit it or not. But the league has been waiting for a long time for to enshrine the golden hair, blue-eyed kid, which that may be fine, but.
Man,
I just want to stop hearing the negative connotation.
Hey, I'm with you on this.
That's an excellent call.
And I'm glad you're bringing this to the table. Look, it's interesting, the Trevor Lawrence thing, and everyone's going to say Jacksonville. And they're not wrong on that. That's an element of it. The Niners are good. Jacksonville's a dumpster fire. Those are facts.
Andrew Luck, when he got drafted to Indianapolis, they were a dumpster fire.
Yes, but they had a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and they had at least some success just prior to him getting there.
But
I agree.
Yeah,
they were a 1-15 team. With a new head coach.
Marvin Jones is not a bum at wide receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about for Jacksonville?
Yeah, for Jacksonville.
Yeah, but I just think we the way we looked at the Urban Meyer situation was, it was a dumpster fire. But I will say this. It is wild to me that we went from can't miss generational prospect in Trevor Lawrence, and I'm watching him, and I'm like, he does not look anywhere near what Andrew Luck looked like coming out.
Looks like another guy.
Yeah.
Looks like another guy.
Even Burrow showed more flashes than him with an equally inept organization.
And 510 Comcast Business Text Line, because he's so right about this. The way they treated Jameis Winston for stealing crab legs.
Oh, dude.
He stole crab legs. Now, I've gone into Walgreens and shoplifted in my life. I'll admit it. I've done some things that I want to take back.
I've been caught so many times doing dumb things.
Ben Roethlisberger, Bud made a great point. Ben Roethlisberger got a standing ovation, and they had the whole parade tour for him as he finished out his career with Pittsburgh. We forget what he did.
I didn't. I mean, he had multiple incidents.
Well, people like to forget what he did.
I know.
The way it was covered was a lot different than Jameis Winston stealing crab legs. Hell, I saw a columnist here at the San Francisco Chronicle tweet out, because he was acquitted on what he was. I think he was charged for a rape case or something, Jameis Winston or whatnot. He got acquitted or whatnot. And Florida State was playing at Boston College, and I saw a columnist tweet out, "Come on, Boston College, beat the rapist. Beat the rapist." And it was like, where's that energy?
Well, you know how it is.
Else. You know
the allegation goes on the front page, and then the apology is on the back page or stuffed in the middle somewhere. It's never on the front page. I'm with you, B. Look, I just find it interesting that I look at New England. They've got the greatest head coach of all time. I'm just using the guys that are in his class. Greatest head coach of all time. Are they in win now mode?
You would think they were. They made the playoffs last year,
right?
They were competing for a divisional title.
Am I hearing even 1/8? I use the 8th for a reason. The amount of criticism on Mac Jones's play.
Nothing. Crickets. Instead, we're hearing all about Miami. Oh, Miami looks so great. They scored 20 points.
I know. Well, 7 of those was a defensive
touchdown
on a Mac Jones strip where he got decapitated.
Right. So the energy's different. And Zach Wilson, I haven't heard a peep. Remember we had Boomer Esiason on last year during the draft?
Was out here dating his mom's friend.
Right. Nothing. But yet we're going to go crazy about supposedly Trey Lance being at a strip club? And Zach Wilson's out here cheating on people. Like, out here dating his best friend's mom.
I don't have any... Look, I have no problems with it. I feel bad for the kid because it's a bad look this week. Right. It's just, enough is enough. We need to give him a break.
No, you can't name drop me at the Gold Club 650. I've never been in there, to be honest with you.
Great buffet.
That's what I hear.
I wouldn't know.
I heard the fried chicken is really good.
If my wife's listening.
I heard the fried chicken is really good. By the way, First and Pod, Odyssey Sports. Be sure to listen to First and Pod. Danny Parkins and Andrew Filipponi give you their first reactions to the win last night. Chargers and Chiefs, and they preview the rest of Week 2. Parkins and Pony are best friends, separated by 500 miles, but united by their love of pro football. A brand new episode today. Give them 40 minutes, and they'll give you the league. Follow First and Pod on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. Hey, Spadoni, it's time for a little shameless shout-outs. Shameless shout-outs. I know who they are now. Wes and Nanette. Shout out to Wes and Nanette, because when we were in Boston, they sent me money, and they said, hey, here's some money to go get you and Shasky some lobster rolls. Oh. You guys deserve it. Remember we had that great lobster roll?
Yeah.
The crab legs, the big Alaskan crab legs? That was a great meal, wasn't it? I went back the next week when you weren't in Boston.
All right, you ready for this? We're going to rat-a-tat-tat it. I'm going to give a shout-out to Body Armor. Did you see the amount of body armor that we got dropped off this? B, what's your homie's name?
Dave. What's up, Dave?
Dave came through with the body armor, and let me tell you right now, I got the peach mango, and it's LYTE, and it is replenishing your boy, because my arm is ready to fall off after 2 nights of softball in a row.
Tropical chaos. So I got a trunk full of body armor. We picked some up. One case is already gone. It's been here less than 24 hours. So shout out to Body Armor. Dave, thank you so much for the delivery. Spadoni, who you shouting out this week? Who you shouting out, Spadoni?
I'm shouting out my little brother Mikey, getting married tomorrow in Washington. I can't make it, unfortunately. Cool. Got a baby on the way, and I got a little 2-year-old. But happy for Mikey and Liz, my future sister-in-law. Very happy for them. Little Mikey getting married. And Benjamin, turning 3 years old on Sunday.
Oh, my God, are you kidding me?
Young Benny. We love Benny.
Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
Benny's got something coming his way. You know I love Benny because I don't think he's going to be able to wear the Josh Jacobs jersey for 2 months longer.
6 more months.
London, what you got? And you bet not shout out to you going down to College Station where they're going to get the Giants ass kicked.
Bonte, that's exactly who I'm shouting out today. I am shouting out my Miami Hurricanes. Tyler Van Dyke's going into College Station this weekend. He is going to drop a big one on the Aggies, man. Hey. I'm telling you, Canes are going to roll.
Hey, love it. What season is
Green
it?
Day?
It's hurricane season.
You must be the whitest white guy in all the Hurricane Nation.
There's a lot of them, too, so that's a compliment. I'm gonna take
By the way,
that.
the U came out to the Emerald Bowl.
Oh, it was the greatest cheerleader section of all time.
I'll show you a picture of me and the
So
cheerleaders.
ghetto.
Hey, watch your mouth. They weren't ghetto.
Bro,
they just had swagger.
They didn't even want to do the dances. They were chilling.
I saw it before the game. Trust me. I asked somebody, how do I get to the University of Miami back in 07, 08? I got a picture on my Facebook page with the U. I'm a Florida State fan. Those girls were so bad, I was throwing up the U. So watch your mouth with the ghetto stuff. They weren't ghetto. They were fly. Very fly. I want to shout out all the high schools playing football, all the girls playing volleyball right now. Shout out to everybody who wished me a happy birthday yesterday. Oh, yeah. You guys overwhelmed the hell out of me with all the messages via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I've really felt overwhelmed. I was flattered. So thank you, everybody, for that. Let's go to Dirty at Allen Rock. Dirty, what's happening? You're on the roast. Who you shouting out? 888-957-9570. Dirty, what's happening? Who you shouting out?
I got put on the spot, man. But I'm gonna shout out John Green and Shaka, the ref coordinators out here in the Bay Area.
Nice.
They gave me an opportunity. I took it and ran with it. And now I'm all booked, and I ain't got no free time, man. So shout out to John Green and Shaka, man.
We love that. 408. Shout out on the Comcast Business Text line. Shout out to my son Marlo. Shout out to Marlo out there. 650. Shout out to my wife Des out there. I'm not going to read the rest of that. Shout out to my wife Des. That's it. Nice try. Shout out to my pops from the 707, Big Timmy. He's having heart surgery in Santa, doesn't say where, but hopefully the surgery goes well for your pops there. Also on YouTube. Shout out to all the roasters. Shout out to the End of Warm Mornings. And a belated happy shout out to me, myself, and I.
Shout out Coyote Creek Golf Course. Our homie Ralph coming in right now, and he wants to shout out his boy Miles. Last week before home, he moved him up to Eugene. He's proud of putting in all that work this summer. 6 days a week running on the UO quack quack track team. He's got 2 more years. You could do this. And shout out to his little brother, Cade, as well. That's from Ralph at Coyote Creek. By the way, go to Coyote Creek. Killer golf course.
It's amazing.
Great
Shout
food.
out to Ralph out there. Miles, got to meet with him a couple weeks ago. He's going to be doing a lot at Oregon. A lot at Oregon, man. This guy's got his head straight. He's thinking about business. He's thinking about journalism. Sky's the limit for you, Miles. Can't wait to see you go to Oregon. And I know Big Ralphie's going to shed a tear or two. 408, shout out to my girlfriend, Kyla, and my son, Brayton. They're the best. Shout out to Camille, my sister on my dad's side. She's down in San Diego to go watch De La Salle. Take on a team out there in San Diego. Jayden Jefferson, my nephew, freshman, corner starting.
Wow.
That corner, De La Salle. Couldn't believe it.
Good to see that he got athletic genes from someone else in the family, not named you.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a lot more. He should be playing running back. He's got speed to burn. Definitely didn't get it from me.
You're that dad, huh? You're that uncle?
I got no speed.
Well, De La Salle, he should be playing running back.
No, I'm going to step back on that one. I can do that.
Don't put the cart before the horse. Let the coaches coach. Don't be that dad. Don't be that uncle.
Just saying he's got speed.
Is he the next Maurice Jones-Drew? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know about that. I mean, you see Jones-Drew's legs?
At Jones-Drew's body.
In high school? I mean, well, the boy's eating now a little bit, but I mean, Jones-Drew was a boss.
He's hilarious, though.
He was a fantasy stud.
Yes, he was.
He was.
Greatest block ever in running back history.
Yes, no doubt. 510, shout out to Maru Catholic High School football team. Shout out to Maru Catholic. Shout out to the Washington Eagles, 2-1 right now. And I saw some shout outs from Reardon High School as well.
Yeah, shout out Reardon High School, absolutely. But I want to shout out the San Francisco Giants. They play the Dodgers this weekend, and no one cares. But I'm going to the game tonight.
Are you going to that game tonight?
I'm going to the game tonight.
Jeez.
Boy's going to be there, too.
Who's that?
This Sam will be there.
Oh,
you're talking in third person?
Yeah, I'm talking in third person. Yeah. Because it's hurricane season.
No, Ludman, and that's it for Shaver shout outs. We'll do a quick consideration. Sam, I don't think you should go to the game tonight because your mood swings this week. I mean, you went to the show meeting Wednesday and you were distraught. I said, Dad, what's wrong with you? Hey, lost to the Braves. Who cares? Season's over.
I don't care how bad it is. I always try to get the Giants-Dodgers games.
I could care less. You know why? What's the over-under on Dodger fans tonight at Oracle Park?
Percentage-wise?
Percentage-wise.
55% Dodger fans.
Oh, I'm going to go 65%.
That high? It's Orange Fridays.
Oh, great. Ooh, whoop-de-doo.
I'll be wearing my orange jersey.
Orange Fridays. Woo! Let me get the orange jersey out. Woo! Let me get the orange brim hat out. Woo! Go Giants. Go Giants. Yay, team, yay. Go Giants. Beat those Dodgers.
Sounds like you're in the mood to go to the game tonight, too.
Oh, I'm in the mood.
Is it Logan Webb?
Is it Logan Webb?
Dude, Sam,
the fact we have to ask probably isn't a
Yeah,
great
we
sign.
don't even care. We don't care.
Knowing me, it's going to be like a Jacob Junis opener kind of a game.
You deserve a Jacob Junis game. Is Alex Wood done for the year? Is this 5 innings in a cloud of dust done?
See this face I'm pointing at?
Yeah.
This is me not caring about Alex Wood.
The game's on Apple TV tonight, too. If that isn't more of a reason to want to watch.
Oh, you get to hear Katie Nolan, another person who's been on 75 different shows that have all failed.
510 Comcast Business Text line. I'm not even going to touch that one. Shout out to the best. Shout out to the best show in sports, the best sports show in business. Coach Evans at Sacred Heart Cathedral. Who you guys got tonight? Sacred Heart. Hey, they got a big win last week against Burlingame at Keysar Stadium. Big win. Double P Pat calling plays. Got Fidel out there strolling the sidelines. Coach Evans doing the damn thing. Go Irish. Go Irish.
I imagine you like one of the, was it Gaylord Perry, where his induction into the Hall of Fame, he had like 17 different, logos on his jersey.
Did you see
that? Would be you in high school football. You literally have a Sarah jersey, an SI jersey, a Washington jersey, all in one. It's like a mismatch.
Hey, I had the
like a collage.
I had the Stewart Hall hoodie yesterday. Did you see that? Stewart Hall. Knights. Shout out to Stewart Hall. Had the hoodie on yesterday.
So now you have family money.
No, I don't have family money. Free is me, baby. Free is me. Oh, man, that was a lot of fun. Show these shout-outs. We'll do it again next Friday. Niners, Hawks. We're going to talk to Splash Cousin. So, you know why we're going to get to that on the other side. First, we'll get to the injury report.
It's time for the injury report.
That really hurt. Brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
Somebody says I need to get rid of my polo. This is that straight alligator Lacoste.
Ooh.
Straight from Payre, baby. Payre.
Lacoste does have good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff.
It does.
You like this polo?
Well, the only problems with those polos is they're actually very warm, and you can't wear them when it's really, really hot because you'll sweat right through them. I got one of them.
No, these are great.
Don't sleep on the Lacoste sweaters. I have like 3 of them. Dude, you look classy as hell if you just rock one of those.
Too.
They had one in Paris with the big alligator.
Oh.
The only size they had was a large. So
did you tell them I'm not a Florida Gator? I'm actually a Florida State Seminole.
No. I'm a Florida State Seminole, but I'm an SF Gator. That's the real chomp.
Oh.
That's the real swamp.
Do you have this in purple?
State.
Damn right.
Yeah, come on, Spinoni. Go Gators, go. SF State. Florida Gators, they're overrated. They got smoked.
All right, get this injury report in.
But no, they didn't have my size. I was like, my name's not Joe Saska. I can't fill a small sweater. Come on, man.
There's so many jokes.
All right, so many jokes. All right, Seattle Seahawks secondary was dealt a tough blow yesterday. Or was it a tough blow? Jamal Adams now out for the year with a torn quadricep. He suffered an injury early in the Monday night win over the Denver Broncos. He's going to have surgery, and he just agreed to a 4-year, $70 million contract extension. So, Kittle, are you going to play? Are you going to play, Kittle? Come on, baby. Let's go. The injury report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. What's coming up on the game? Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises. The one and only Splash Cousin, Jordan Elliott, to break down Niners and Hawks. And we'll tell you why he's a Splash Cousin again on the other side here on The Roast.
Whether you're buying a new car or used one, it's a big investment, which is why you should choose Pennzoil Platinum. It helps extend the life of your engine and protect it up to 15 years or 500,000 miles, whichever comes first, guaranteed. That's because Pennzoil's base oil is made from natural gas and 99.5% free from engine clogging impurities. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Enrollment required. Keep your receipts. Other conditions apply. See pennzoil.com/warranty for full details. Find it at Firestone Complete Auto Care.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic, and they bring the shop to you. Brakes, tire replacements, oil changes, so much more. And they've added an eco-friendly wash. Barely uses any water and makes your car look new. The ultimate convenience, easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrival, service in your driveway, no waiting rooms, no coordinating rides, direct access to your mechanic, friendly, reliable service, no middlemen, no upsells. Get $50 off your first oil change with the code OIL50. That's OIL50. Check out Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 9/21/22. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you are looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
BART is turning 50, and we'd love to celebrate with you. Get 50% off of your ride in honor of BART's 50 years of service to the Bay Area when you pay with Clipper. That's 50% off Clipper BART fares for the entire month of September. Add Clipper to your digital wallet for free. If you're eligible for other Clipper discounts like youth or senior fares, you get to take an additional 50% off of those too. Details at bart.gov/50 years. Celebrate BART's 50 years of service with us this September. Let's go.
Golfers, tee it up this fall at the Golf Mart for big savings. Save up to $150 off on Ping G425 Woods. Upgrade your gear with discounted Wilson standard cart golf bags and stock up on tailor-made Distance Plus golf balls. Now 2 dozen for $35. Don't miss these items and more happening now at the Golf Mart and get a free custom fitting today. The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Or shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
O'Reilly. See the road ahead more clearly with Sylvania Bulbs and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, purchase select Sylvania bulbs and get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate, plus receive double O-Rewards points. Replace your bulbs today and see better tonight. Let the professional parts people help you find the bulbs you need. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Michael Phelps.
You know, I think for me in 2014, when I found myself in that dark place where I didn't want to be alive in those 4 days when I was in my room by myself, I wanted to find a different way. I wanted to find a different answer. I was sick and tired of feeling how I felt, and that's why I started to seek help, and that's when I checked myself into a treatment center.
Join us for Odyssey's I'm Listening 2-hour national mental health conversation, Wednesday, September 21st at 6 p.m. Talk saves lives.
That's the sound of a crack in the ceiling found at a home inspection. But with a Realtor by your side, a newfound leak might only cause minor worries. With their expertise, a Realtor can suggest a credit at closing and even connect you to a contractor to help you shore up that leak and alleviate your worries. When it comes to cracks in your plans, the expertise of a Realtor can make all the difference. The difference between an agent and a Realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
The Doobie Brothers 50th Anniversary Tour is coming to Shoreline Amphitheater September 27th, and 95.7 The Game has your tickets. For your chance to win, head to our contest page at 957thegame.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky.
And I'm about that action, boss.
Take it out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby. Good morning to everybody out there getting off their graveyard shifts. If you're at work, what is happening? If you're getting ready for work, if you're on the roadways, drive safely, folks, on a Friday, a Payday Friday / Frisco Friday. Here at 95.7 The Game, Joe Shasky, the Butcher. We got Joe Spadoni behind the glass alongside Sam Lubman, who's getting ready for the Hurricanes and Aggies tomorrow in College Station. Prime time. The U is back on prime time. Can't wait for that one. And yours truly, Bonte Hill. And the shout-outs are still rolling in, Shasky. They're still rolling in. 925. Shout out to Triple G for getting ready to knock out Canelo tomorrow night. I'll be watching that fight. That's Carlos and Concord. Notre Dame and Cal. How about Cal Berkeley going to South Bend? The Fighting Joe Starkeys. Cal Bears going to South Bend. Let's go, Cal.
You know what today is?
What's that?
30-year anniversary of RBL Posse, Don't Give Me No Bammer.
Can I hear the song?
We're going to have to get that song on. Frisco Anthem. When are we going to get Black Sea on the show?
Whenever we want.
Like, what are we doing? What are we waiting for?
I don't know. We get these guys on.
I do not think they have a clean version of that song.
No, they do. They do. They do. There was a video, Hits from the Bay. Did you ever watch Greg Wallace Avenue?
Of course.
Hits from the Bay? You want to talk some real Frisco stuff.
Real Frisco stuff.
Channel 29, baby.
Real Frisco.
Out late with Ricky D right after.
Pre-HD.
Let's go.
We're going to talk to Jordan Elliott, staff writer at Niners Nation in just a second. Also covered the Niners for SB Nation. And he had changed his name. He got rid of the Splash Cousin. But remember we were talking to Brad Greb, and we shouted out a Ponte. It was like Splash Cousin, Jordan Elliott. And Jordan Elliott was like, I got to bring back the Splash Cousin. And he brought it back. Why would you change a name like that? Splash Cousin. You can never get rid of a name like that. Fighting Irish. Y'all lost to Marshall last week. You're losing to Cal this week, too. Book it. Book it. Cal Bears go to South Bend, baby, to beat Shasky's Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Bob Fitzgerald, you won't hear the end of it this year. But you know what Bob's going to clap back with, Bob Fitzgerald.
Freeman needs a win. Poor guy.
Oh, boy.
Poor guy.
We're going to talk about
Marshall. They threw the pick six, and I almost fell out of my chair.
Hey, you think Trey Lance is under some hot water? Freeman over there at Notre Dame.
I mean,
oh, boy. They got Ty Willingham out of there in a heartbeat once he started struggling. And then Charlie Weiss won with Ty Willingham's recruits. And everybody, Charlie Weiss, the greatest thing that happened to Notre Dame since Lou Holtz. Yeah, that lasted long.
I hated Charlie Weiss.
All right, come out and see the Red and Gold pregame show with Larry Kruger and Lorenzo Dale live from the Hilton Hotel, Santa Clara, starting at 10 a.m.
Oh, nice.
On Sunday. Kruger and O'Neal.
Come at me, bro.
I got to stop by the Hilton because that's the place we made famous, Shasky.
Get some chicken tenders.
Come on. We made that place famous.
I love those chicken tenders.
There's still people mad at us for not doing the pre- and post-game show anymore. Folks, got to wake up at 4 in the morning. Can't do the pre and post.
You know this is a big-time game this weekend. Not only will both of us be in attendance, my wife's going.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she only goes to the big games.
Well, and it goes to all the games now.
She said all the games kind of a girl. All right.
And now, all her friends yesterday she talked to, I could just hear in the background, I got to say, going to road grade was so fun. I had never experienced that. It's just so different. It's so cool. I'm like, Anna, you got to relax. We're not going to be going to road games like that all year long. It's one and done. Maybe they make the playoffs. Maybe we go to a road game then.
I'm imagining Anna as the tailgate coordinator on the road for the 49ers.
So let's make that happen this year.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to make that happen. The pregame show presented by Harris Ranch Beef, legendary quality Jim Beam bourbon whiskey. Taste the world's #1 bourbon. By the way, before we get Splash Cousin, the reason why I'm saying this, and I'm going to get in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
But the reason why the NFC Championship game was so damn fun, our wives are back home.
Oh, yeah.
They're all home.
Hun, the phone's not getting any service right now. I'll call you in about 9 hours.
Mondo, Wart Whiteheff, Ryan, you, even Papa Shasky. The significant others were back in the day.
This is when you know things get wild. My dad went Facebook Live, and then within minutes got a phone call from my mom. Who are those women next to you?
The Rams fans.
Remember that? He got in so much trouble.
I'm not even
He turns to me and goes, "Can you call your mother and tell her that those people next to us weren't with us? They just happened to be in the back." I'm like, "Dad, you should have never went on Facebook Live.
You should have never tried to show him where the bathroom was, Papa Shasky. Walking with it.
Stop it.
Snitching Bate. Splash Cousin Jordan Elliott. Staff writer of Niners Nation covering the Niners
game
for SB Nation. We had to talk to Splash Cousin, man. Splash Cousin, the name is back. Jordan Elliott is back. Your alter ego is back, baby. What's happening?
Hey, good morning, fellas. It was about time. I thought it was time to bring it back and, have a second coming of the Splash Cousin era. I quickly wanted to wish you a happy belated Bonte. I hope you had a good day yesterday.
That's
and
cool.
Wishing you nothing but the best in the year to come. It's going to be the best. I can feel it.
Yep,
thank you, brother.
I can too. All right, let's get to somebody who's having a rough week this week, just in terms of criticism. Jordan Elliott, you looked at every single piece of film from this team for the last couple of years. You've been in a lot of the different games. I mean, I thought I was prepared for the Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo thing, and I admit I underestimated the whole thing. Have you seen anything like you're seeing in terms of criticism coming out of the 49er quarterback position like we've seen this week?
No, but I hate to say, I think it was kind of expected, and I think that was the biggest, disappointment that stemmed from what on the surface is a good football decision to insulate your quarterback room and have a reliable backup like Jimmy G would be in a break in glass in case of emergency kind of scenario. But this is what we all could see coming from a mile away. The thing that's the most disappointing was that it happened a week into the season, and I don't think any of it was justified. I don't know how anybody could have watched that game last week and came away with their initial reaction being, oh, well, Trey Lance is the reason they lost this game. If Jimmy G started, it would have been different. The way that game unfolded, it was very clear there were a dozen different issues that would come to the forefront before you talk about the quarterback play. And I just think that a lot of the criticism stemming from that game about Trey Lance came from people who were going into that game looking for any reason to criticize Trey Lance. And they were going to come out of it criticizing him no matter how he looked on the field. So I think it's just noise at this point, and I do think that the way he carries himself and the poise that he shows, I think that he is somebody that is capable of overcoming that noise, and I think that this week is a great start to silence a lot of those critics that just have no basis for the arguments they've made the last few days.
Yeah, I was really let down by the playmakers in general, or I guess the lack of opportunities for certain playmakers, certain specific spots where the defense was undisciplined, or maybe the offensive line seemed to let a jailbreak come through just in very crucial spots. Coming out of that game, after you've seen it a few times and you've broken it down, what was the one thing that you were like, gosh, they really got let down by this facet of the game?
I think you nailed it. I think it literally just came down to they were not disciplined enough, and they allowed an inferior team to hang around because they kept beating themselves. They had 12 penalties for 99 yards, and the biggest, one to me where the floodgates really opened was that face mask that Dre Greenlaw had, because up to that point, the Bears couldn't sustain anything on offense. The 49ers are up 10 points. Mm-hmm. They had 3 net passing yards halfway through the third quarter, and you're in a position where you're going to get the ball back up 10, and then all of a sudden the Bears are extending this drive, and then a couple plays later, they score on this broken play on this touchdown to Dante Pettis, of all people, and that to me was kind of foreshadowing, where it was just like you had this gut feeling where it was like, oh, man, like this isn't going to end well after that. So I think really it just came down to the fact that they weren't as disciplined as a team that's as talented as they should have been. And I don't like throwing around the weather excuse, but I do think that the lack of discipline put them in a position where once they had to come back from a deficit where they were down 2 scores and they were going to have to be throwing the ball, Mother Nature intervened, and they're dealing with this rain that's coming down so hard that Fox is having to overlay graphics over the field because you can't even see the hash marks properly. So I just think it was a perfect storm of things going wrong that they put themselves into by being undisciplined early on when the conditions were more favorable.
That's Jordan Elliott, everybody. Splash Cousin. Find him at Niners Nation. Covered in Niners for SB Nation, breaking down the Niners' loss to the Chicago Bears, and we look ahead to Seattle. Look, Jordan, I think this Sunday the defensive line has to put their blueprint on this game. They're the best positional group on this football team. They have to dominate. And when I look at the Seahawks offense, everybody's going crazy over Geno Smith, and that's fine. They scored nothing in the second half of that Monday night game against the Denver Broncos. Geno Smith, 6 of 10, 31 yards in that second half. DK Metcalf only had 36 yards receiving on 7 catches. They should be able to take advantage of what I believe is a below-average offensive line this Sunday. I need to see Bosa, Armstead, and Kinlaw continue to do what he did last Sunday, really dominate this game on Sunday.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Seattle is starting 2 rookie tackles, and I think that that's where the 49ers really need to take advantage in this game. I think Charles Cross, their first-round pick, is a very talented player, but it's going to be his second start in the NFL, and you have to feel pretty good about your chances when you have Nick Bosa and Samson Ebukam and Drake Jackson and that just wave of pass rushers that they can throw at these guys who are still getting acclimated to the NFL level. The only 2 returning starters Seattle has on their offensive line are at the guard positions, so I'd also expect to see them try to dial up some pressures up the middle and kind of get some matchups with the center one-on-one as well. So it comes back to discipline, right? Like, I think that Seattle is always going to be a thorn in the 49ers' side, and for whatever reason, they find a way to win games that they probably shouldn't on paper. But with Russell Wilson gone now, there really is no excuse. This is a game that the 49ers should win, and I do agree with you that the reason why Seattle won that game was largely because Denver kept having those same self-inflicting mistakes the 49ers had. Coincidentally, they had 12 penalties as well.
Yep.
They had 4 trips in the red zone. They fumbled twice inside the 10-yard line of Seattle. They didn't come away with any touchdowns in their red zone trip. So if the 49ers are able to just capitalize in the red zone, which, again, is easier said than done, I will give Seattle credit. They were the number 3 ranked red zone defense in the league last year. So I do think it wasn't necessarily luck, but I do think that the 49ers have such an advantage on paper that as long as they're able to stay out of their own way, they should be able to come away with a win and not be sweating this down the stretch. I think that this is a game they should win fairly handily.
Okay, so that being said, we all agree, the run, Shanahan in the run game. I got no idea what he's going to do here. And I'm not going to ask you what he's going to do. We know he loves the roster politics, so he favors certain guys that maybe we don't see it. What do you think they should do? From the guys that you've seen, you've been at almost every single practice that was open to the facility for fans and whatnot, and you've been behind the enemy lines, if you will, covering it for the media. Who's the guy that you would give the bulk of the touches to this weekend?
It would be Jeff Wilson Jr., and I think the biggest reason why is he is somebody that Shanahan can trust, and I think that while it may not always make sense or even be justified, Shanahan's made it very clear during his time in San Francisco that he's somebody who is very particular with who he trusts with the ball in certain situations. We've seen the plug pulled on guys very quickly when they do lose the football or mess up an assignment on a given play. And I think Jeff Wilson right now is the most reliable. I think he's the most underrated back on the team, and I've felt that for a long time. And the biggest reason why I think right now you have to trust him even more is what he can do in pass protection. When you have a young quarterback like Trey Lance, the biggest thing is keeping him upright and on 2 feet. And I think that Jeff Wilson's ability to pick up the blitz and be somebody that you can trust on a 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9 is going to be able to keep your young quarterback upright and give him the time he needs to deliver the football is more important than maybe having a younger back that has a little bit more juice maybe carrying the football, because I think that they will work in Ty Davis-Price this week. I expect Jordan Mason and Ty Davis-Price to both be active, so I expect them to see a good amount of touches. But to me, Jeff Wilson has to have the bulk of the work just because he's proven that he's somebody who can get it done at this level. And I think that Shanahan, more than a lot of coaches in the league, is very stubborn to a fault when it comes to having faith in guys or maybe not having faith in rookies that haven't proven themselves yet.
30 seconds or less, Jordan. How important is George Kittle for him to play this Sunday? Because I'm getting a little worried about him. He had the bonus practice where he gets hurt, the groin. We don't know if he's going to play. A tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. We saw Herbert last night with Gerald Everett. We saw Mahomes with Kelsey all these years. Tom Brady for years had a great tight end. Phillip Rivers had Antonio Gates. Kittle needs to play, and I'm a little concerned about him, Jordan.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the biggest thing is that as much as he's valuable in the passing game, just as you mentioned, and I completely agree, I think the thing that gets often overlooked is not only what Kittle brings to the run game, but what he brings from a schematic standpoint. Because when you have Kittle out there, when you have Juszczyk out there, defenses have to respect the run, and it's going to have defenses come out in heavier personnel instead of coming out in these lighter sub packages. They're going to have 3 linemen on the field. They're going to have to put out bigger nose tackles. And I think that because of that, it allows Shanahan to really get these looks where you get, a receiver isolated on a linebacker. You can get Kittle upfield on a safety or a linebacker. And I just think the way it opens up the offense from a schematic standpoint is almost as valuable as having the all-pro player in itself that Kittle is. So just the combination of that really makes it very difficult to succeed when he's not out there.
That's the Splash Cousin, everybody.
Killing it.
Breaking it down better than anybody out there. Jordan Elliott, hopefully we see you Sunday, week 2, Levi Stadium for the home opener.
Yes or no? Real quick, yes or no? Danny Gray, active or not?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he has to be for this one. I think the only reason that we didn't see Danny Gray was weather, and I know Kyle Shanahan mentioned special teams was a big reason why Turner was active. So I think this week you have to, especially they need somebody that can take the top off this defense, and I think that Danny Gray's that guy for sure.
No doubt.
Great stuff.
Follow his work at Niners Nation, staff writer at Niners Nation, covering the Niners for SB Nation. Jordan Elliott, one of our favorites here in the morning roast. He's the Splash Cousin. Splash, see you Sunday, man. Hopefully you're out there at Levi Stadium.
Hey, I'll see you fellas out there. Thank you so much.
Sounds good.
Anytime. Jordan Elliott, everybody. Give him a round of applause.
Great stuff.
Great stuff.
The reason I asked about Danny Gray at the end was, to me, the rest of the year, the number one thing that they have to do with Trey Lance, he's got to make the simple play. You hear that a lot. To me, no. Like, of course he needs to make the simple play. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Of course he needs to hit the layups.
But he needs those big plays.
Did
those
you
chunk
watch
plays.
Mahomes?
Right.
Does anyone talk about, wow, that check down to Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Right.
No, we're looking like, damn, did you see him split through 2 different guys and throw the ball 40 yards in the air?
What about the throw Herbert?
Need to flip the field.
What about that throw Herbert made to Carter?
It was ridiculous.
It's like, what?
Ridiculous.
And Trey Lance showed glimpses. The 3rd and 7, I see Juwan Jennings out there on an island. I'm going to make this throw.
You know why they lost that game? The 2 chunk plays that the Bears got in that game.
Pettis play.
Those were the 2 big plays.
Took the entire game.
I need the Niners to get big chunk plays. Think about the big plays last year for the 49ers. Big chunk plays. The screen pass was a chunk play in the Bears game last year to Deebo Samuel. But all the other ones, they don't win in Week 18 without the big throw chunk play from Deebo Samuel on that jet sweep. The reason you have Trey Lance and the reason he's playing right now, yes, you invested a ton in trying to get him. Yes, you want to see the young man play. He throws the big chunk play. He throws it. You need to have the personnel match what the kid does well. Danny Gray has to be out there. I'm not going to go as far as say it was negligent to not have him suit up in that game. I get the thought process. Bonte, if you do something really well, I want to highlight that.
He throws the ball well. Deep down the field. And this is why the quarterback change was made. Because Jimmy could make all the simple throws. But what about the deep chunk plays down the field? I'll highlight the throws. You cannot tell me the 3rd offensive snap for the 49ers in the NFC Championship game where Jimmy G misses George Kittle. You don't think that's a big play? He missed him. The chunk opportunities, you maybe get 5 opportunities a game to cash in on those plays. You have to take advantage of it. The Juszczyk play against Tennessee. The Emmanuel Sanders throw. And I don't even think the play should have been called. I thought you should have been running the ball anyway. But the George Kittle plays in that Super Bowl where the ball gets batted down and he's isolated on Terrell Suggs, who is done at that point. You have to take advantage of that. And what did we see from Trey Lance so far in his young career? He takes advantage of those big chunk plays. Think about the Houston game, the Deebo Samuel play. Jimmy doesn't take those chances.
Well, I would say this. Look, there's always a balance, right? So as much as I'm screaming and yelling about the chunk plays, he's got to hit enough of the underneath stuff to make them honor that as well. You can't just have 9 guys drop back in coverage. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And they go, we dare you to throw it over the top. Because that's been part of the elixir on Mahomes. At the end of last year, everyone was like, well, if we just drop everyone back and we ask them to take the underneath stuff, it takes away a lot of potency of the offense. But what I'm saying is that you have to have personnel out there that the defense honors and is afraid of. I like Ray McCloud. Ray doesn't have the speed that Danny Gray does.
And I told you about Danny Gray.
I love Jennings. He's a chain mover. And I still think they need another 6'4", 6'5" body chain mover.
Julio Jones would have been nice in this offense.
Well,
I don't know why
Julio's
there was not
on
more.
the TB12
yeah,
program.
I don't care. He could have been under the Balco program out here in the Bay Area. I don't care. You saw Baldy's breakdown of Julio Jones? He kept saying, Julio's back.
I know.
Julio again.
Well, they did a jet sweep with him. I couldn't believe it.
Jet sweep
I thought he was a tight end at this point in his career.
Wearing number 6 looks great in Tampa.
Yeah, he does.
But the thing about the Niner offense, this is something I don't get, and I'm going to be watching Danny Gray very closely for him here on out. Richie James Jr. had a lot of talent from the slot. Richie James Jr. in that game against Arizona back in 2019 flipped the game with his wide receiver screen.
Yeah.
The Rams game on a Saturday night flipped the game with that big kickoff return. Speed. The defense has to respect him. You never got that from Trent Taylor. Kendrick Bourne was a good third down receiver, but not a guy who's going to take the top off the defense. Danny Gray can fly. He can fly. At least, and this is where Baldy broke down Julio, where he's like, look, even if he's not getting the ball, he's taking the safety with him. The safety has to honor him. So then it opens up some of that intermediate and that underneath stuff for Debo and a Brandon Ayuk. You get Danny Gray just running down the seam, straight down the field. The safety's going to be like, damn, I got to stay with 86. Or what is he now, number 6?
Yeah.
Number 6?
Number 6.
I got to stay with number 6, and it's going to open up Ayuk underneath. So he's got to play, man.
Yeah, he does. Well, the other thing is they got to get the ball to their superstar. And I've said this during the T.O. era, and I was probably, 10 years ahead of my time. I believe your best players need 15 touches. I don't care if they're a wide receiver or a running back or a tight end or whatever. When you watch Kelsey and you watch Mahomes, is there any doubt in your mind that they are trying to get him the ball 15 times a game?
No doubt.
When you watch Devontae, whether he's with Aaron Rodgers or with Derek Carr.
They are force-feeding him.
Okay, Justin Jefferson.
Force-feeding him.
So
Jamar Chase.
If you look at someone like Debo Samuel, and I just paid you $25 million, I don't care if it's in the running back spot. I don't care if it's at wide receiver. I need 15 touches dialed in for Debo Samuel before this game even begins. That has to be in the script.
I'm with you there, Shasky. I am with you.
I don't care where it comes from. I don't care where on the field.
Also, I spent the first-round pick. If I'm John Lynch, I'm thinking, we spent the first-round pick on Brandon Ayuk. A first-round pick. More than 3 touches, please?
I know. Oh, you're watching the kid last night, Mike Williams, who was a first-round pick. God, I wanted him. But anyway, he gets targeted. And Herbert is staring him down the whole way.
He got targeted like 9 times in the first half alone.
But that's what I'm talking about. That to me is during the week they made a dedicated plan to go out and force feed that guy the ball because their best chance of winning is giving him the rock.
I'm with you. We're going to talk to Dave Wyman, color commentary for the Seattle Seahawks. He's going to break down the Seahawks defense that we know nothing about. Plus, look at Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. That's coming up as we continue to break down Niners and Seahawks. Home opener on Sunday. Can the Niners get their first win of the season? We'll talk to Dave Wyman on the other side, and that'll be sponsored by Freeman's Appliance.
Trick with BetQL. No one player has tortured an entire franchise more than Aaron Rodgers has tormented the Chicago Bears and their fans. Everyone knows that he's 23-5 overall against Chicago and 21-7 against the spread in his career versus the Bears. Better yet, Rodgers and the Packers are 6-0 in their last 6 Bears games and 9-0 against the spreads against Chicago after a loss. So take the Packers and give up the points because he's got all of Chicago in his hip pocket. I'm Trista Crick, helping you beat the books.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill September 23rd through September 25th for their fall clearance sale event and take advantage of one-of-a-kind opportunities. Visit Friedman's Appliance Fall Clearance Sale event for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately, like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity Gateway.
Whether you're buying a new car or used one, it's a big investment, which is why you should choose Pennzoil Platinum. It helps extend the life of your engine and protect it up to 15 years or 500,000 miles, whichever comes first, guaranteed. That's because Pennzoil's base oil is made from natural gas and 99.5% free from engine clogging impurities. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Enrollment required. Keep your receipts. Other conditions apply. See pennzoil.com/warranty for full details. Find it at Firestone Complete Auto Care.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like that place with the square pizzas? Or Mama the spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so. Order up! You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
The gamer, the call maker, the experience chaser. What if you could be everything all at once? Galaxy Z Fold 4 is powered by the Snapdragon processor for world-class performance and lightning-fast speed to turbocharge your multitasking. How about an expansive edge-to-edge screen for immersive gaming, hands-free video calls with flex mode, and multi-window view to use up to 3 apps at the same time? With Galaxy Z Fold 4, do more with ease and make multitasking a breeze. Available now at Samsung.com.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you are looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
Dell Technologies' semi-annual sale has arrived, and it's time to upgrade to the latest business technology. Save big on laptops and desktops with Windows 11 Pro. Plus, get amazing deals on server, storage, and cloud solutions, as well as top work accessories, including docks, monitors, and more. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL for special business offers during our semi-annual sale.
Pink Floyd's Roger Waters. This is not a drill.
We're doing a show in the round. It's something new. I'll look forward to the challenge.
Featuring his songs from the golden era of Pink Floyd. Friday and Saturday, September 23rd and 24th, Chase Center in San Francisco. Tickets on sale now at RogerWaters.com.
This is not a drill.
Produced by AEG Presents.
O'Reilly! O'Reilly Auto Parts provides more than just the right parts for your repair. Our professional parts people can also offer free check engine light diagnosis. We can scan your vehicle and provide a list of possible fixes. Find the right parts for you or recommend a great local repair shop. Don't ignore your check engine light. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
In Fremont, 74 today, partly cloudy and breezy.
Weather brought to you by Pfizer and BioNTech. Whether it's the news, the traffic, the weather, or your COVID-19 vaccinations, it's important to stay up to date.
Score big with Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with the game-changing speed of supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers the field and then some. and blocks billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you protected at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
The Dave Matthews Band is coming to Shoreline on September 17th. For more info and tickets, visit 957thegame.com/events.
Everybody gets up for the morning roast.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Charlie Boots, man. It's pretty sick. Dave Wyman joining us in seconds. Former linebacker with the Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos. Actually attended Stanford. Dave and his brother played at Stanford back in 1983. They were starting on that Stanford Cardinal defense. How about that? And there's a little nuggy-nug about Dave Shasky. He was selected in the second round by the Hawks in 87, 45th overall. Midway through his rookie season in 87, he was traded to the Niners. But he failed a physical due to a bad shoulder and then nullified the trade. He could have been a Niner, Shasky. Could have been a Niner. But now he's embedded with the Seahawks. He's calling games, a color analyst for the Seahawks. He's been doing it for 4 years now. And he'll break down the Hawks here in the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. Dave, good morning.
How are you? You're bringing up a bad memory for me.
I'm sorry, man. I know. You could have been a Niner, man, instead of wearing that teal.
You could have been a contender.
Blue. Yeah. You wouldn't have had to play with Dave Craig.
Well, it all worked out for me because I ended up meeting my wife up here, and this is like my 25th year as a broadcaster and player for the Seahawks. So it all worked out. But I'll tell you how stupid I was as a rookie. When I got traded there, they're like, I got there and they gave me a physical, and they're like, so is anything wrong physically? You doing okay? I'm like, yeah, pretty good. I go, my shoulder pops out every once in a while, but other than that, no, I'm good. They're like, all right, well, we better take a look at that shoulder. Well, it turned out I need surgery. And so, yeah, that's what the whole thing came about, because I was very honest.
Man, you're too honest. And maybe it's the Stanford in you, man, because I know you're a Stanford Cardinal, you and your brother. But you're coming back to the Bay this week to call this game. And, look, you guys got an emotional win Monday night against Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. Geno Smith played well, but I looked at the second half where they didn't score anything. And we'll get to the defense because they're now in a 3-4, not a 4-3 anymore. But your overall impression of what the Seahawks did offensively Monday night against Denver?
Well, offensively, I just was entirely blown away by Geno, the first half especially. And, I guess it didn't really resonate with me that he had a ball that was tipped in the second half. And I think if that one gets caught, he would have been like 63%. I mean, he wasn't nearly as good, obviously, and they didn't score any points. But what he did, I mean, throwing on the run, the throw to Disley for a touchdown, keeping his eyes up as he's scrambling. And I'm not comparing or anything, but that's something that Russ sometimes couldn't do. When he was trying to scramble, his eyes would go down. And Geno kept his eyes up. He had, I think, 3 throws that were like that. He had another throw where it was a completion to Lockett where he got bumped and hit, and, it didn't affect him, So that's the part I was really impressed by. We've just not seen Geno be that kind of guy, and there's a big question as to whether or not he was going to be able to be the leader and the lead dog. And so far, looks really good. He was good, in the preseason, but that was kind of hopefully his breakout game. On defense, yeah, they're really young. My biggest concern is that they've got some guys that. Well, like Darrell Taylor, some of the young corners. I call Darrell Taylor, it chasing the mailman. He's one of those guys that he's so fast and he flows really fast, but too fast. And he doesn't stay home sometimes. And I'm worried about that Niner running game because I know how sophisticated it is and how good it is and how they will find a way to run the ball on you. So, it's a young defense, young guy, so they're going to really have to up their discipline game.
So, Dave, Bonte kind of referenced it here. Huge emotional game Monday night. Russ returning. You guys looked great. I thought you guys were supposed to be garbage this year, straight up. I had it chalked up 2 dubs for my Niners. Now I'm like, oh, God, this feels like a must-win. Was that an outlier performance? Is it wait and see? I'm expecting some emotional letdown, but Pete Carroll is always ready to play the 49ers. So, what's your big feeling heading into this game for Seattle? Was that a 1-week outlier? Are you guys in the same camp that we're in, kind of wait and see what team shows up this weekend, or are you guys just better than we all thought?
I think it's wait and see. We just don't know enough, right? You go, wow, that was the defense was bend but don't break. Look, they gave up a couple of really long drives and then got a stop at the 1-yard line. So there's a lot of youth. There's a guy named Tariq Woolen playing corner who, I think he had 2 penalties and then he had a really good play, and so it's like
he's a hitter though, Dave. He can hit.
I know. I love the play he made out on the edge where he knocks down the receiver and and tackles Devontae Williams. So yeah, it's a wait and see deal because this is young. Like I said, I keep saying young team. And then the other thing is Geno. I don't know if he can continue to do that. Even Rashad Penny, who had a pretty good game. He's one of those guys that he had a couple breakout games last year, but he's pretty much been a disappointment. So, yeah, it's still wait and see. I think this is going to be a really tough team to play right now for this team. I think the Niners are really well coached. And
what do you think of Trey?
The run game. What's that?
What do you guys think of Trey? What do you or Seattle in general, how are you guys viewing this quarterback thing for the 49ers? There has been so much drama. Trey's not good enough. Go back to Jimmy's not good enough. How are you guys viewing the quarterback situation?
Well, first of all, there's lots of Jimmy G admirers here in the Northwest, and when there was some question that maybe the Seahawks could trade for him or whatever, it was a lot of people were really excited about that. And, I remember the one thing that I was impressed with, me and my co-host of our show, was his farewell to the media. It was so gracious and he was so cool about it, such a nice guy and everything. But, taking his team to the NFC Championship game, and it's not like it was his numbers, but still he kind of guided the ship. And, so, the way we look at it is Trey Lance is still a huge question mark. What did he play? 17 Division II football games, and he played 6 games last year. He put up a couple 100 yards against the Seahawks, but he looks like kind of a mystery, and I feel like he is a beatable quarterback as far as the Seahawks defense facing that. But to me, it's really about guys like Kittle and Juszczyk and whoever they plug in the backfield to run the ball that is going to beat them.
Let me ask you this, Dave, and we're talking to Dave Wyman, color analyst for the Seattle Seahawks, longtime Seahawk, been with them for 25 years, broadcasting, playing. How do Seattle fans view this rivalry? Because we've been throwing that question around. Yeah. We can't stand the Seahawks. You guys have beat the Niners 4 in a row, 13-16. But since the Hawks have moved back into the NFC West, they are 28-13 against the Niners. They've had the Niners number. Is the Niners the number one rival for Seahawk fans? Because the 12s do travel down to the Bay Area, and they take over Levi's Stadium.
Yeah, I think it's still there's lots of longing for the days of Pete Carroll versus Jim Harbaugh, right? Those were the glory days where, you had Kaepernick versus Russ and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I think that it's still the number one. The Arizona Cardinals, I don't think that's really ever going to be a rivalry between
for anybody in this division.
yeah, exactly. And then the Rams is getting to be a little bit more. Now they have Bobby Wagner, so yeah, I still think it's a Niner. As far as the NFC West goes, it's a Niner rivalry, but I'd like to see it heat back up again, and I don't think it's quite there yet.
No doubt. Real quick, Jamal Adams out for the year. What does that mean for this defense?
It's a huge blow. That guy's such a good player, and a lot of people are saying, well, he didn't play up to what they, what they paid him and all that. But, honestly, guys, I think that his mind works faster than his body can hold up to. Like, he takes steps and he's so quick that, he ends up hurting himself. He does things that, like, his body isn't built to withstand. And so it's such a shame. And the way they used him in 2020 was they were getting ready to use him that way. And that's the year he got 9.5 sacks and just was all over the field. Last year, they did not use him correctly. And now we're waiting to see how they're going to use Jamal Adams when he gets hurt. So it's just incredible disappointment.
Dave, you're longing for the days of Niner fans and Seahawk fans hating each other. Let's have a little fun here. I'm spicing this thing up. Y'all 2012s, a.k.a. the team that didn't have fans before 2012, you guys are going to go back to being a doormat in the NFC West. It's going to happen this weekend. You're going to get a high dose of Lance. All these Lance haters that have been out there for the last couple of months getting their rocks off on Jimmy G being a nice guy. Just wait until this week, and you guys are going to go back to being who you thought you were before the season even began. And it was interesting seeing 49er lifer Richard Sherman and the other people out there hating on your greatest quarterback of all time, Russell Wilson.
Oh, boy.
So, Dave, as nice as you are as a man, I got a spice in this. I hate Seattle. You guys are like a startup company, a little tech company. It was a cute little story, but now you're getting bought out by the big blue bloods of the NFL. The Niners are back.
You know what? If this rivalry is going to get going back up again, it's not going to happen between two slappy radio guys.
Well said. Dave, no, seriously, the Russell Wilson hate. I could not believe he did not get a single cheer up there in Seattle. And a lot of people are knocking the fans saying, how can the fans do that in Seattle? How could you boo one of your greatest players in franchise history? I don't care. Those fans paid money for their tickets. They can do what they want to do. But I was shocked to see the rush from Richard Sherman, their hate from Doug Baldwin Jr. What happened in Seattle with Russell Wilson?
Well, it's just like a scorned lover, right? You're kind of angry. I thought the cool thing though was, and I never anticipated this, and this might have been Russell's worst nightmare, is that they were chanting Geno. I turned to Rabel, and I was like, I don't remember anybody ever chanting Russ, So, and look, in 10 years from now, 15 years, whatever, whenever Russ retires, everybody up here is going to love him up. It's going to be, this is just like when Brett Favre went to the Minnesota Vikings, and came back and everybody, booed him. Of course they're going to boo him. I didn't think that was a big deal. I think the bigger deal and what maybe might have bothered Russ was the fact that they were chanting Geno. I never thought I would hear that.
But you know what? It feels like all those players on those great Seahawk teams, the Doug Baldwins, the Richard Shermans, the Earl Thomases, there's something there against Russell Wilson, man. Like, I couldn't believe Doug Baldwin, who made a living catching all those great passes from Russell Wilson, cannot stand Russ. What is it, because of the Super Bowl loss to New England?
Did he audible? Did he audible? Is that factual? Did he audible at the line?
No, I don't think so. And the other thing nobody ever looks at is the fact that they were in 11 personnel, which means, one tight end,
Dave, don't
one
do
running
it.
back.
Don't do it. You had Marshawn Lynch. Don't do it.
And they had goal line personnel in there. And so they were loaded up to stop the run. Nobody ever wants to look at that. I mean, it's a fan thing. I get it.
It's Marshawn Lynch at the one.
It's the greatest short yardage back possibly outside of Earl Campbell.
If you're a football guy, you throw the ball there. I mean, if you know anything about football, you throw the ball.
Wow, I can't believe it, Dave. I can't believe it. Dave, we're going to do this again the next time the Niners and Seahawks play. You're a good sport, man. Have a good call Sunday. Niners and Hawks, home opener for the Niners. Should be a good one, man. It should be a bloodbath at Levi Stadium.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave. Dave Wyman, color analyst for the Seattle Seahawks.
And I'm a homer.
Listen.
If you're a football guy. Yeah, is Richard Sherman a football guy?
An old co-host of mine would tell me every day that was the right play call.
Oh, it was?
Marshawn Lynch may have been the greatest short yardage back outside of Earl Campbell, outside of Walter Payton in NFL history.
Come on, now.
He's right there on the short list.
Come on, now. Did he really? Come on.
And Seattle had one timeout left.
Come on.
And a timeout.
Every San Francisco fan was pulling for New England in that game. It was dead silent at my house.
Listen, When Marshawn Lynch, because I was watching that game at the
dude
bison
made that
pad.
catch coming down, remember?
Oh my gosh.
Whoever that scrub was it Joe? It was Curse. Yeah.
They made so many plays. I said, gosh, Seattle's going to win it.
The ball bounced off him like 8 times.
So Philly Zoo, Bachelor Pad, we had a packed house that day. I think Mo Money was there, everybody.
Him and Chip Kelly, football
Mo Money,
guys.
And Philly Zoo had his money on the Seahawks, and he's rooting for Seattle, which was driving me crazy. When they intercepted that pass, I don't give a damn how much money Philly Zoo had or Mo Money had on the Seahawks. I jumped up like the Niners won the Super Bowl. I danced around that living room so hard. I was so happy they threw that ball, and Malcolm Butler got paid off of that one play. Oh, my gosh. It was a terrible call. How you not give it to Beast Mode at the 1? At the 1.
Bill Belichick said it was the right call. That Malcolm Butler just made a good play.
They practiced for that play all week. You saw the Belichick little football.
And Malcolm Butler was getting beat all week on it.
All week. I was so happy. I was so happy that day.
My favorite of all the memes was Pete Carroll being photoshopped into a McDonald's cashier, you know, when you go through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
And it was like, do you want me to hand this to you?
It was a Lombardi trophy.
Or do you want me to step back 10 yards and throw it to you?
Richard Sherman, his face? No.
It's the greatest face of all time. And look.
And Brady going through victory formations just with his head
your
down.
Your boy Dave, I get it. You know, you're getting paid by the team. You know, I mean, Bonte would never talk down on Joe Lacob, but let's be honest. Every single player disagrees with you, Dave. They're all football players. In fact, they're all getting paid to talk about football, and they all disagree with you. And they all hate Russell Wilson.
They all hate him.
They all hate him. I mean, that's the worst play in NFL. We look back, and I thought they'd get off like at least two Super Bowls. That is one of the biggest woulda, coulda, shoulda blunders of all time.
You know what's crazy? Is if they win that Super Bowl, honestly believe they would have three-peated. That's how big that Super Bowl was. When they were up 24-14 going into the fourth quarter, and I'm thinking to myself, they're about to go back-to-back. And they're set up to go 3-0. I honestly thought, I swear to God, I thought Seattle was going to three-peat. It would have been hard to do, but they were set up to be in position. And they made the playoffs the next year. They lost to Carolina in the second round. When they lost that Super Bowl, I was so happy.
What did Brady go for in that fourth quarter? I know he was like 13-13 for 200-something yards against the greatest secondary I've ever seen. That was the day I crowned him better than Joe because he beat the Seahawks.
I mean, they had everything rolling with Gronk, Edelman. Seattle, even before halftime, Seattle had some crazy drive when they tied the game up. I'm like, dude, these dudes are so tough. They're so good. They're so good. Oh, thank you, Russell Wilson, for audibly. Come on, man. How can you sit here with a straight face?
That was the right
With a straight face.
Everyone in Ninerland was like, yep, Marshawn's getting this touchdown. They're winning back-to-back. On our faces.
On our faces.
And we got Tom Sula. That literally was what I was thinking.
I was like, it's over. And Philly was so mad at me for celebrating. I have money on the game. I don't give a damn. Seattle just lost the Super Bowl. That's your fault for betting. I don't care. I hate Seattle.
Me too.
Hate Seattle. And that energy needs to be displayed Sunday at Levi Stadium.
I mean, God bless them for just sticking to their guns.
To the softies, to the Wymans, to all those guys.
The 12s. The 2012s.
The 2012s. That's a good name.
It is.
And they stole the 12s from Texas A&M, by the way.
Come on. It's just ridiculous.
Seattle's never named the 12s.
And they got the fake sound coming out of the speakers. My cousin's been to that stadium.
Whose sound is faker? SoFi Stadium and the Rams or Seattle?
At least Seattle has certain fans, right?
Right.
LA Rams, you ain't got no fans.
Dude, it was 60% Niner fans down there at SoFi Stadium. And they were doing whose house? Rams house. I'm like, bro, there's no way. I had a headache, by the way, in that first quarter. I didn't think I was going to make it through the NFC title game. My head was pounding with all that fake noise.
I always have the Advil in my pocket.
I did take 2 right before the game, and it was like...
Well, we also ate like 50 chicken nuggets.
Yeah, we were too.
I always think it's funny in those broadcasts when it's the home team and they're scared to pan to the crowd because they know it's just all the opposing team's fans. That's what happened in the Raiders-Chargers games last week. There was no Chargers fans.
There was a lot of Raider fans.
They panned like 3 times.
Dude, there was a lot of Raider fans at that game, Spadoni. A lot of Raider fans. And there was a lot of fights at that game, too.
Spadoni, did we find, in the honor of 30 years, did we find a radio edit version of No Bammer Weed?
This one is... I was listening. There's still... scares me, Shasky.
Okay.
This one scares me till I don't want to play it on there.
Okay. Well, shout out RBL Posse. Black C, rest in peace, Mr. C.
We get Black C in studio.
We need to get him in studio.
We'll get him in studio.
He looks like he's been hitting the iron.
Dude, he looks like he's in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, damn,
You're
Black
out here
C.
saying 40's the new 30. I mean, 50 might be the new 20. Black C looks like he's about to put dudes out.
I have never used steroids, period.
Black C and the point, them dudes don't use steroids.
Can we just do some? Can we just laugh? They really think that was the right play.
11 personnel. They're going to sit here and say, there were 11 personnel. They were in goal line. Who cares? You have Marshawn Lynch.
I just, to my dying day, I don't care what anyone says. That's the dumbest play call I've ever seen.
Super Bowl history?
Is there anything worse?
Another thing, too, before we get out of here. We're going to take West Oakland Sam in just
They were
a second.
at Marshawn could have sneezed into the end zone.
Now, we're here, and we were playing the Mike Martz sound earlier and the Michael Lombardi, and everybody keeps saying, well, they have a Super Bowl quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners did not win the Super Bowl. So if we're going to say Jimmy Garoppolo's a Super Bowl quarterback, then we might as well say Kerry Collins is a Super Bowl quarterback. We might as well say, what's my guy?
Rex
Stan Humphries. Stan Humphries is a Super Bowl quarterback.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff is a Super Bowl quarterback. Neil O'Donnell is a Super Bowl quarterback. We might as well say that, right? If Jimmy's a Super Bowl quarterback, then all these other guys are Super Bowl quarterbacks too.
Jake Delhomme
is a Super Bowl quarterback. Gosh.
I like Jake Delhomme.
Rich Gannon, Super Bowl quarterback.
He was sick in that game. Mushim Muhammad.
And Steve Smith.
Yeah.
They had a very underrated good team.
Steven Davis.
That team was good.
Yeah.
Deshaun Foster.
Yeah, look at you. The visor.
Oh, dude. When he did the math.
If you're going to go, to the early 90s, though, I'm going to go Barry Foster when it comes to that Pittsburgh team with
I
Neil
think he
O'Donnell.
got into some stuff, too. Barry Foster.
Did he?
Maybe.
No.
Or was it Bam
Sorry
Bam
for
Morris?
bringing him in.
Or was it Bam Bam Morris?
Bam Bam.
Bam Bam was sick.
Well, that was when we gave great nicknames out, like Ironhead Hayward.
Yeah, right. Craig Ironhead Hayward.
I mean, come on.
He was sick.
Yeah, he was.
His son is sick, too, Cam Hayward. Yeah, but this whole thing, that was the right play call. He's a Super Bowl quarterback. These guys didn't win a Super Bowl. So now we're calling the losers Super Bowl quarterbacks? Nobody ever did that with Kerry Collins.
No.
Nobody ever did that with Stan Humphries.
No.
Nobody ever did that with all these other Neil O'Donnell.
Natron means.
Come on, man. Let's get to West Oakland Sam. West Oakland Sam, you're on the roast. Finish this show off, baby.
Hey, man, what's up, y'all? I hate Seattle. I hate them. I hate Doug Baldwin. I hate how we let Jermaine Kearse beat us. I hate the 12. I hate everything about Seattle. Their best player ever to me is Lopa Tatupu. Okay? I can't stand nothing about Seattle. I hate how Seattle calls themselves the town. The only town is Oakland, California. I'll be on Instagram, and they're always talking about the town, and I always got to clap back like the only town is in Oakland, California. Stop it. You guys want to be a fake version of the Bay Area. You guys will never be us. Your guys' history will never be nothing, and Geno Smith can't do it 2 weeks in a row, period. That's been the definition of his career, and we're going to shut it down. I love my Niners. I love y'all. God bless.
Let's go.
West Oakland Sam.
Let's go.
Chime in on a
Look
Friday.
at that. Oakland repping for the Niners. Hard.
Drew Down on YouTube. Dwight Howard called himself a champ after the Warriors ended the Rockets. He did. I'm a champ. No, Dwight, you're not. Well, I guess now he's a champ. He got that bubble ring. He got the bubble ring with the Lakers. I forgot about that. But at the time, you were not a champ. He's a Super Bowl quarterback. Did he win it? Did Neil O'Donnell win it? What are we doing? Rex Grossman is a Super Bowl quarterback. On that premise, sure. Oh, man.
That's a great point, though.
It
really is.
When Jimmy's a Super Bowl quarterback, how do you bench him?
Boomer Esiason.
He's a Super Bowl quarterback.
Yeah, I loved Boomer,
I love Boomer. The Super Bowl quarterback. Says no one ever.
Yeah. So this week alone, we've had Craig Carton, Mike Martz.
Oh, Craig Carton needs to be on the cue card.
Yeah.
I got to write him in there.
It's becoming a poster board.
Yeah, we're too deep now. We're too deep. And people...
Can I ask you a question?
Listen, hold on real quick. The roasters, I love them too, because whenever somebody says something in 95-7 game, they hit the DMs real quick. Hey, Bonte, so-and-so said this. Add them to the cue card.
Yeah.
You got it, pal.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem.
It's like the naughty list for Santa Claus.
Lucky we didn't do this for the Warrior season.
Oh, well, somebody got Dallas in 5 on there.
Lucky.
Talk
lucky
about
we didn't do-
Hangman.
There would be cue cards all over the studio.
Just get a full-on whiteboard for that one.
538 at the top top of the board. I mean, come on. You couldn't even predict the thing that you're good at predicting, which is the presidential election, and you're supposed to tell me that you know about basketball? Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, what were you about to say?
We were all watching that election thinking the same thing. What? 538 got this way wrong. What? And they're out here like 13% chance. Like, shut up. Shut up. Tell me I'm wrong. Remember when 538 was like gospel? And I was like, we were all doing the same thing. Like, damn, they got this thing way
They
off.
went hard.
I mean, like,
heads are gonna
I don't
roll.
even pretend to follow politics. And I'm like, what is
Heads
going
are
on
gonna
here?
roll. What were you about to say before we?
Who needs this win more? Forget Trey and Shanahan.
Man.
Well, actually, is it Trey Shanahan in a bucket or you and me in a bucket? Who needs this win more? I need this win for my soul.
I think we need it, Chesky. We may need it.
I'm going to the Giant-Dodger game tonight.
I don't know why.
Just because there's 2 days before this other Niner game, and I need something to do in the interim because I am losing my mind waiting for this to go down.
I'll watch the Donahue doc tonight. That's what's on deck for
You
Friday night.
still haven't seen it?
No, I'm watching it tonight.
Been
busy. Been to Chicago.
Let me just tell you
man.
this right now.
Don't spoil
Everything you thought about Scott Foster is true and then some. In the words of the Seinfeld, what was it? They're real.
Oh,
wasn't that how it went? How did it go, Willard?
Spectacular.
Yeah, they're real and spectacular. Terry Hatcher?
Yes.
Yes.
Real and spectacular.
Let's
Yeah.
flex like dry.